Do you have a good memory of your childhood with your mom?
Cars inspired me as a little kid. If I can reach the Ferrari, it was, and again, the symbolic nature of it was very powerful for me.
What led up to that?
My mom had a boyfriend named Jake. I looked at him as kind of not like a dad, but kind of, he's older. I was like, I'm going to have one of these. And he just slapped it out of my hand. I cried and I was like, yeah, I will.
What would you say to your past self?
Use that as fire. Everyone has a moment for them. That's something that happened, something that knocked them down, something that pushed them down. Use that, keep it deep inside, and just smile and just keep going, man. It was called the relentless pursuit of the...
Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
I know a bit about your past, and I know there was one business that you were in at one time. So I was going to actually bring a donut, but then we were talking before we got on, and you said, was it 9 days, 10 days you haven't eaten in?
It's been 9 days. Yeah, going on 10 tomorrow.
Why are you doing that?
I cleanse. I call it a cleanse. It's funny. It's, everyone has a different relationship with certain things. And my relationship sometimes with food isn't so good. I'm a bit of a stress eater at times. I've been an athlete my whole life, and the only thing I do is a comfort food. And when I'm feeling a little whatever, I'll just eat junk. And I think it's probably how I was raised and not eating good food my whole life. And so I kind of fall back to that. I think we all have a tendency to do certain things, and me is food. And the byproduct of that is just maybe brain fog or like just lack of, and I'm very hyper and energetic and always thinking everything is half full, not half empty. And but it's funny, like I'm on day 9, I feel like $1 million. I haven't had an ounce of food, just water.
Just water for 9 days.
My friend for 9 days.
No like lemons in it or anything?
Zero.
Or mint?
Zero. I literally feel like I can just keep going.
Yeah, I've done fasting before. I think the longest I've done is like 48 hours. I do fast every day. I usually do like 16 hours.
Yeah.
And I know when I did the 48, after that 24, after that 36, that's when you really start to get in that groove.
You get in the ketosis state or whatever, and my wife calls it ketosis breath. She's like, get the ketosis breath away from me.
That sour smell?
Yeah, my taste buds are gone right now. Even water tastes weird.
I mean, makes it easier.
But I literally, I'm not craving any food, and literally my cravings for after day 3 or so of junk and chocolate and crap and like that stuff's gone. Yeah. So that's what it does. It puts me at what I call net zero. Yeah. And then I start fresh from then, and I have a meal plan from then on, and I just continue it and go back to the gym, and then I just get it going, and it's literally like a refresh for me, and I feel fantastic.
Yeah. Are you in the gym right now too then, or taking a little bit of
just
break?
a little bit of cardio. Just a little bit of cardio. Nothing crazy. Nothing. I'm not in there hitting the heavy bag or anything, or trying to kill anybody or anything. So.
Have you lost much weight then from this?
I've probably lost 25 pounds. I haven't weighed myself. I will weigh myself tomorrow. I will let you know tomorrow.
All right.
I weighed in at 243. I don't know what I am now, but I'll let you know.
Oh. What's your go-to comfort food then?
Man, I love fast food. I love burgers, like quick, like Burger King is a double Whopper with cheese, no pickles. Oh, so good. And then I usually have that and then like a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
The original one. And I know it's horrible for you, and I feel like crap after I eat it. Yeah. But why? Why am I going there? Like, I'm so disciplined my whole life with everything. You cannot shake me. But then the food, it's been a battle. Like, I'll have times when I used to fight competitively, I was never really worried too much about it, and I was always in shape and always felt good. And then I stopped doing that, so it's it's been a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, I love food too. I'm terrible for
You're a foodie.
Man,
what's your go-to?
I don't want to say the same thing you did, but I'm burgers all the way.
Burgers are so good, man.
Dude, it's
when you get a big like not only that, like the triple O's burger. Are you kidding me, man? Like so good. I don't care if it's expensive. It makes it more better, right?
Every time I go to Vancouver, we hit the triple O's at that gas station by the highway.
Yeah,
I love it. Growing up, I remember going on the ferries, and they got the white spot,
the BC burger, man.
BC burger. So I always thought it was for BC, but it just means bacon cheddar. I found that out.
I did not know that.
It's bacon cheddar.
I thought it was BC. It's like the BC ferries, and
so did I.
If you don't know, you don't know, right? Well, thanks for educating me there.
I was this old when I found out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm even when I'm dieting, I make everything taste like a burger. ketchup, mustard. I found you do no pickles, but I like extra pickles. But they have this ketchup now. It's pickle ketchup, so it's ketchup with pickle flavoring in it. Fuck, I could drink that shit, man.
Weird. I don't know, why is it that everything that's so good is almost so bad for us?
I think part of it is everything that's so processed. You've got a team of scientists that are working on
Round the clock, to trick you.
Yeah, because what happened was back in the day when they started making cigarettes illegal and they're saying they're bad for you, they took all the scientists that made cigarettes so awesome for all those people, and those cigarette companies bought up all the major food distributors and food manufacturers, and they just moved their scientific team from cigarettes to food. And now, or like, I don't know, shit that my kids used to eat, like goldfish. I could eat the whole fucking bag and still be hungry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
It's empty shit, man.
It's like fireworks on your tongue.
Yeah, and I love chocolate, man. Like I have a huge addiction to chocolate. I try. But it's funny, like now I don't. So like when I start tomorrow, I'm going to wake up, have an egg, keep it simple. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of meat. You know, and I want to stay away. I'm not a human anatomist guy, but I think I bloat really easily is what the thing is. Like 2 or 3 days of having a lot of bread or those types of things. Why am I feeling so bloated? Why do I feel so lethargic? And I'm just like, I don't feel quick. I'm always agile. And my whole life I've been fast. And it's like, I just don't like how I feel, right? I like how I feel now. Yeah. And I haven't eaten anything. So like, how can I like keep that? So I believe every human body's different.
Oh, for sure.
Some weird statistic about me is I've never been sick. I've never had the flu or the cold in my entire life.
It's a superpower.
I've also never tried alcohol or a drug. So I understand my body, I've taken care of it for the most part, but I've also been a competitive fighter. So I haven't really fully taken care of it. So, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like I said, I've never been sick. And the fact I can do this, I've done this multiple times. Over 15 times in my life, I've done this no eating for 10 days. Oh. And it's like, how long can I go? I don't want to push that limit, though, in case something happens. So I'm trying to stay within the same parameters. And again, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but...
Well, I would say with how much energy you have right now, I would never know that you haven't eaten in 9 days.
It's so fucking crazy, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, I was talking about the other, I'm just like, fuck, man, I was telling Tyler, do I even need to eat? Like, maybe. Like, so it's just, I think my body normally feels good the way it is now. Like how it's like, I think it's like I've always pushed it over the threshold. Yeah. Like if this is how much food I should be eating, I'm like, no, more. So it's always fighting itself to get back to where it should be. Yeah. And I'm like, no. I'm like, because I'm so focused when I want something or when I do something, it's hard to shake me. Yeah. Right.
Were you that focused on your diet when you were fighting, or did you just eat anything because
Full disclosure, I ate whatever I wanted, bro. My wife took me to, it was a Mission City boxing club. Oops. And we was about to fight this guy. It was a house fight, and he was the main guy in heavyweight fight. And I had a Whopper before I fought him. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm hungry." Yeah. She's like, "What you?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter because I can literally stuff myself and then go play a sport." It was like, "Oh, I can't do that because I don't want to eat before." Why? Just eat and go. Same with me. Like I could down a whole coffee and go to sleep. Right? Yeah. Like espresso, nothing keeps me up. When I go to bed, I go to sleep. That's it. There's never like, "Oh, I had a hard time sleeping." I've never had a hard time sleeping in my entire life.
Does coffee affect you in the mornings and stuff?
No, I just like I have enough energy. I wake up with piss and vinegar, right? I'm blessed. Like I don't know what else to say. I think it's a gift, and I don't need those things to keep going or feel like I need energy. I do love the taste of coffee.
So do I.
Right? A good cup of coffee. It's funny. You don't know good coffee until it's black. Right? You don't disguise it with cream and sugar. Yeah. And I don't usually drink with cream and sugar. I love the auto latte and stuff, but no, I just love coffee. Yeah.
Oat milk latte is my go-to.
That's a good one. Yeah. There's this one. Yeah. There's I always frequent Amplified Cafe, and I'm always, they have the best coffee, man. It's so good.
Yeah, I've been there quite a few times. Daniel's place
Daniel's my boy. Yeah.
Shout out to Amplified.
Amplified. He's getting amped up.
Well, with your fighting.
Yeah.
You started that at a young age then?
Yeah, I was young. I was, scrapping when I was a kid a lot, just more to defend myself. I was, because in and out of foster care and stuff, and I never, had proper clothes, and was wearing like venture shoes and whatever thing from the, when I'd bring food, if I ever did, it was from the food bank. It wasn't, it was not like what everyone else had. My clothes were all the same clothes every day because that's all I had. So my mom never really bought anything because we just couldn't afford it, right? Yeah. So. Yeah, so I was always kind of scrapping to defend myself. Kids are savage. They'll pick on you for something and pop them in the face, and then they leave you alone. I was like, oh, I guess I can defend myself at a young age. And then I'd go to another school because we would have to move out of the place we were moving and then start the whole process all over again. And I'm very thankful for being able to handle myself, being able to, I say, like, you know, keep the people at bay from not picking on me too much.
Yeah. So were you back and forth from foster care back in your mom's care?
Yeah, because my mom, she wouldn't get money if I wasn't in the home, right? So like, and now that I see 20/20 vision, like if I was in a foster care, she wasn't getting as much money from welfare, right? Because she got money for per kid. So I think that's why we kept bouncing back and forth. That's my opinion of it. I'm guessing that's why is the reason I kept going back and forth. But then there was one particular home in Kamloops here, the Boudreaux, you know, it's Chelsea Boudreaux and Jean, and they were a foster family that literally kind of took me in without really getting any money. So I think they were willing to take me and my sister without getting paid, so that my mom still got, you know, the full whatever she got. So I was there for probably the longest, right? Yeah, and actually, her name's Chelsea Mann, so she's now she's married and she's So, anyways, my sister and her were really good friends and. They're little, right? So it was a place where it was always a warm roof. There was never no fighting, no police coming to the house because of drugs and alcohol with my mom and her boyfriend at the time. And it was a stable place, and there was food in the fridge. I remember my first day staying over, we had like a good meal. Like it was probably pork chops and like vegetables and all that kind of stuff. And I guess I got my stomach and I puked. So they took me to the hospital. And Jean says it to this day. She says like, so what happened? She's like, well, because my whole life I've been up at that point eating Itchy Man, macaroni and cheese, noodles, and just junks, like high saturated in salt food. So that was my first like real meal, and my body didn't know what to do with it.
Wow.
Right. So I puked it or whatever. So she's like, so this was the doctor or whatever said, give him macaroni and cheese. Okay. And I still to this day love that stuff, man.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm like, you know, but I mean, when it's 39 cents a box or 49 cents a box, and I remember when, you know, my mom would be all like messed up or something. I'm like, my sisters were hungry. I'm like, I'd head over to Safeway. And my stepdad at the time, when he was in and out of the relationship too, but he taught me a trick, and it was like, if you like knock over a can of food, it'll be dented. You can take it to the manager. They'll pick a black marker and put it across the barcode and get 50% off. So I can go through there. I'm like 8 years old or 9 years old, and I'm walking through there. I'm knocking stuff off and trying to get deals, and I'm just trying to get some.
From a young age, then.
Yeah, so I was delivering newspapers as a kid, and I was making like $83 a month, and I would use that money to feed us all. Yeah. So,
how old were you when you first went into foster care?
Probably grade 5. It was grade 5. So. Whatever that is.
10, 11?
No, younger than that. What am I talking about? Grade 4.
Okay.
Grade 4.
Yeah. 8, 9, depending on when.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I mean, I liked it because I got to like eat. Right?
Yeah. That might be where you kind of developed that love-hate relationship with food then.
Yeah. Right? I think so. Yeah. Because it was like feast or famine, right? It's funny place. There's a place downtown here on St. Paul. There's a church there, and it's right by the YMCA. Because I lived on Battle Street on the corner when I was in Kamloops. My mom, we were living in the top of this house, and a friend of mine. There were a lot of people living down below. He ended up becoming a friend of mine. We went to Stewart Wood Elementary, and I'd always frequent the church because that was the bottom of it where the stairs went down. That was the food bank.
Food bank, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd always like, score! So I remember going in there once. It was completely empty, but they had a 5-gallon bucket of ice cream. You know, the tubs?
Yeah.
I was like, can I take that? They're like, oh yeah, you can have. It was cookies and cream. Oh. And I was like, I took her home because it's only a block away, right? I walked home. The whole thing fit in the freezer. Nothing else could fit. I mean, there was nothing else in there anyways.
Yeah.
There was like ice trays, but they had to go, right? So the ice cream went into the freezer, and tell me I fucking ate ice cream every goddamn day. I was like, this is so good. And I just remember so many vivid memories from my childhood. And remember in that same house, we had like 2 eggs, and I was cooking my little sister an egg. My mom would frequent out to a boyfriend and leave us alone in the house for like a week at a time. And I'm like, 9, taking care of my 4-year-old little sister, you know what I mean? And going to school and then like coming back, and it was just pretty messed up, man. But I mean, it is what it is. It's shaped me who I am today. But I remember making eggs, and we had 2 of them. And one I made for her, and the other one I cracked. I dropped it. I put my foot to the side. I caught the egg in my toe. Flipped it up, cracked it. Like I remember like it was yesterday. I'm like, that's like God taking care of me, man, because he didn't let that egg fall on the ground, right?
Wow.
memories, bro. Quick reflexes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's one of those things where if it didn't happen to you, you might not believe it really
No,
happened,
100%.
right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And it was just and I always have the bad memories of things. Like, I remember going through the cutlery to go, like, get a knife. And why are all the knives black? All the tips of the knives are black because hot knifing.
Hot knifing, yeah.
Yep. And I've never tried it, even to this day, but I would see, I'm like, oh, why is she putting that stuff on there? Like, I don't know. These are all things I learned at a young age. And it's
Very
like,
young.
so if anyone asked me why I'm driven, I just had to see that as a kid, would not be told anything. And then I can, and nothing is going to shake me, man. I'm not going to go that way. I'm just going to go a different way.
Do you have a relationship with your mom now?
Yes, I do. We're not like super close. I love her to death. She lives in Spence's Bridge. Helped her move out there into a place there. So she's close, but not like right next door, you know, and she struggles with a lot of things. She's really like, might be 80 pounds right now. And she's living in a mobile home there on a piece of land. So they own the land. So I helped them get that, which is good.
Good for you.
But it's hard because I would, you know, in my heart of hearts, I'd want my daughter to know her as grandma and go visit and spend time. I just think my mom has a lot of, you know, she had a really rough childhood too, with a dad that really was pretty mean to her. But like, because she was a really good swimmer apparently when she was younger, and he'd just throw her into the river or lake and say, you swim across the lake, and just like pretty like military mindset. Apparently, I don't really know he's my grandpa. I don't really know him. He's probably dead now, but I've never had a good relationship with any of my family or whatever. So yeah.
How are you doing things differently for your daughter versus how kind of you were brought up?
I was just being polar opposite, but I have to always check myself because I had nothing, and I don't want her to feel like overly privileged and to have everything she wants, because I don't think she understands how good she has it, right? And I don't want her to
100%.
feel the other way either. But I also don't want her to be, I don't want to be spoiled and rotten, and when I want her to be as a hard worker, and then you have to work for things. So it's that fine balance as a parent to try to raise our kids in a way that they can actually get out on their own and make something of themselves too, and not just rely on, you know, mommy, daddy.
How old is she?
She's 12.
12. Okay. Same age as my oldest son.
Oh, really? Yeah. So she's like a woman now, and it's like I want her to be little again and jump up and rub her hands, and she's always meet me at the door, and she doesn't anymore, and it's like.
Yeah. I know with my sons, a question for you from this is you talked about not spoiling them and like not giving them everything, and I'll find, because I want my kids to have more than I did.
Yeah.
And hopefully they have those same morals and they strive so that their kids can have more than they did. But I'll have times where they're struggling and I want to just jump in. And then my wife's like, you have to stop. Like, you have to let them struggle. You have to let them go through it. Otherwise they're never going to, they're never going to learn anything unless you let them. Do you ever struggle with?
100%. Absolutely. Like I just want to give her everything. And I want her to have it, but at the same time, I know that if I had everything as a kid, I wouldn't be who I am today, right? Resilient and be able to resourceful and life isn't all about the destination; it's about the journey. So, Love that. If you're just getting right to the journey right away, then what was all this for? Then you better love the journey, or that's it. It's the end of that for you. So it's like we only have one life, and let's enjoy every aspect of it, right? So, and it's hard. So like I get her working at my car wash, and she's, you know, spraying down the bays and stuff. And she is a good hard worker and stuff, right? It's just that, I don't want her to suffer and struggle. And I remember as being a provider and a protector myself, I've always had, I think I've always had a strength of, like, say, financial safety and physical safety. But I think I've always lacked like emotional safety. Like, so when my daughter would get hurt, I'd get mad. Maybe that's a part of my childhood or something. My mom's always whining and crying and always in pain and always something happening. So I think I have PTSD from that. I don't have any. My whole life I've been like, I can handle anything. But being around my mom, sometimes when I see those things come up, it triggers me. I'm like, oh, man, is that when people say they have PTSD, is that what that means? Yeah. Right? Where I'm triggered now. I'm angry. So I think I've taken that in the past on, like, you know, like my daughter, she would like ride the scooter, and I told her always wear a helmet, always wear it, and she didn't, and she fell doing like 35K, screaming. I'm like, why'd you do that? I'm all mad at her, right? I'm like, when I could have looked back, I'm like, man, I could have she just probably just wanted me to give her a hug and hold her, but here I am yelling at her. I'm mad that she's hurt because she didn't listen to me when I was telling her to take care of herself.
Well, logically, you know that you're supposed to wear your helmet and that. And I was listening to a podcast just the other day, and it was with a guy who works with relationships and kids and that sort of thing. And he said, when someone's in that state, when they fall and they hit their head or whatever, and they're in a heightened emotional state, if you try and talk to them logically, they're never going to get it. So in that moment, you have to come at them emotionally.
Yeah.
But with you, who obviously has had some deep emotional trauma, it kind of just boils up and it's like a bottle cap kind of firing off, right?
Yeah, and what it did too is it kind of spiked me. Those types of things and those mannerisms that I would go down that road. I call it being like hyper aware and like self observant of where you are and self aware. It's a huge part of it. And I just started buying books of emotional safety.
Okay.
And reading books on emotional safety.
Do you have a favorite one from there?
There's a bunch that I'm reading,
Okay.
and it just gets me at a point where I'm like, oh, I do that. I'm that. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Frick, right? And I'm like, man, why? And it's funny. What I learned from it, basically, from all the readings and all the research I've done, is sometimes, like, say, if it's a woman in your life, they just want to be. They don't necessarily need advice. They just want you to listen and shut up. Right?
Yeah.
And you almost like you have to introduce the conversation of like, do you want me to give advice or just listen? Yeah. And then I'll listen to you, whatever you want.
I'll have that with my wife. She'll be explaining something that happened in her day, and I'm a provider and I'm a protector and I'm a problem solver. So she's saying this, and my brain just goes to fix the problem. And I start it, and she's like, "No, I
don't want you to fix it.
I don't need a lecture. I just need you to listen." And I'm like, and I've gotten much better at it, but I've worked at it for years and years.
It takes a lot of time, man. Like I was separated for 3.5 years, almost 4 years, because I literally, all I did was work too much. That's all I've ever done. And I've put work, emotional or physical safety and financial safety. So that was my job as a husband, was to provide that way. Like that, I didn't understand or never even had emotional safety in my entire life. I was on an island since I was a little kid, pretty much, right? Like trying to figure it out on my own. No one taught me that shit. No one did anything for me there. So that's the only way I know how to operate. But that's literally what drove my relationship apart, was not having any of that. And I realized closely, I'm like sitting here, why am I alone? I'm in this beautiful home all by myself. My family's in another house. They want nothing to do with me. I've done nothing wrong. Right? I don't have substance abuse. I don't go and party. I come home every night. Like, this is weird. Why? Just, obviously my relationship with work has been subject. All I do is work.
I feel you there.
All I do is work. And I'm having to now take those small amounts of time and actually be present.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm working on that. It's funny. We're like, are you in your 40s yet?
39 just a couple weeks ago.
Close. Yeah.
Close.
So close to the same age. And it's like, so we have to learn that eventually, or
it's tough.
It is tough.
I think a big problem for guys like us is I love to work. Like a lot of people don't like out there, and they don't like to go out there and grind and put your sweat equity in. But at the end of the day, if I'm building something and I know it's going to better myself and my family, it fills my cup.
And you're proud. You would rather sit on the couch and, like other people, no, I'm not saying who, I don't know who, but smoke weed and watch TV all day long and do nothing, play video games. Like, what is that? Like, how is that in existence?
Even on my days off, I have to force myself to try to stay home, because I'll get up still 4:30 in the morning, and it's leave the house by 5:30, and I'll be gone till 7 or 8. And I have so many things I want to do, and it's just jam packed.
Because you love the road. That's why. And it's like, but we're doing this for our family, but it's like we love the journey more than the family, it seems, at that moment. It's weird. It's weird. And I think it's, to be completely honest, we're doing it for them. But if we, like I said, in a relationship status, if you in two people together, if somebody wants to be with that person, they will reach out. They will go there. But if they're ghosting, well, they haven't talked to me, because they don't want you. They don't want you. And the same thing is, like, we have to always check ourselves. We got to audit ourselves. Right? Do we want that situation more than that? Well, at that moment, you're going here for a reason, but like you have to always check yourself. Okay, no, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to head back over here. Yeah. Right? Because that's what I'm doing it for. Even though I want to do this, but I'm doing it for this. And and the hardest thing, I think, is maybe guys like us, is being aware, being present in the moment. Yeah. And not thinking about, tomorrow I got this.
What else do I have to do?
I've got that. But then you're not being you're not being there. It's so funny. I took the boat out, a little ski boat I had at the time. I took the family out to take my daughters on the tube or whatever. So I'm leaving my phone at home, right? Because I'm on my phone 24/7. It's my lifeline, right? I keep it home. The one time I keep it at home. Well, I sucked up the rope in the jet boat, so I'm stranded way out in the Kamloops Lake. No phone. Oh. I waved down the random guy. It's Blair Harper. Out of anyone, the only guy I really know with a boat. I'm like, wow, that's pretty inconvenient. And he towed me to and got me out of there. I was like,
I thought you were going to say you missed like a huge deal or something by not having your phone.
Oh no, it was just like now I'm stuck and I can't like phone someone to give me help. And I'm like, the one time I'm like, I'm putting my phone away. I'm just gonna have a couple hours of family time and friend time and friends on the boat too. We're gonna like take them on the tube, and next thing you know, I can't go anywhere because the motor's got a rope stuck around the shaft.
Yeah, I like how you brought up there that when you're working that hard, you're doing it for your family, and it kind of gave me a thought is when I'm out there working that hard is I'm trading my own personal time so that they can
100%.
live better lives. And my sons are starting to understand why I'm working so hard, and they're taking an interest in wanting to be entrepreneurs themselves. But I mean, deep down, I would rather I work 16, 18-hour days and them never have to want for anything. Like I would gladly trade that time that I would spend with them to work harder so that they can have everything that I never did and then some. But it's a tough pill to swallow.
But what if they just want your time? That's the thing. So like we have to learn from history. Like if people before us did these things and then they're on their deathbed, and if we were there hearing them, oh, I wish I would have did little less work and then more time with the family and I would have had more memories. They don't care about the house, the cars, the things. And so it's like, it's tough though, because I also want, sometimes things can also create memories. Like I just bought a boat. I'll pick it up tomorrow morning.
Nice.
Right? And that's not for me because I'm not a boat person, but it's for the little teeny boat that I had that sucked up that rope. It's 1996 Sea-Doo boat.
Okay.
Pretty rough, whatever. It's old and it ran good and everything, but I'm just like, well, I'm not moving from where I live. I live on the water, so I'm always going to have a boat, I guess, if I have a dock. So that's about family memories, and like that's what that's about, right? So, and money will get you those tools and those options, right? And that's what I look at it as. But it's always a gray line. And when I go buy a new freaking supercar, I'm like, what's my motive? That was for me, right? Not for my family because it only has 2 seats, right? So I can't justify that one, right?
Yeah. But I know it is tough, and you talk about if they want your time, and I do try for myself. Like I like to run, and I had a bunch of races lined up this summer, and then just the way it lined up, my son had rugby tournaments in other cities. Every day I had a race, and I was like, do I take that one day that I was going to spend for myself this month and go do that because that's what's going to help keep me mellow, or do I take my son and go to rugby? And I'm at the place now where I can be, okay, I'm going to rugby. And I took him to rugby.
You have to have your cup full for yourself, or you can't give it to nobody else either. Because if you're always on empty, you're not even going to give them your best foot forward anyways. They're going to get a diluted version of you.
Yeah, I was at like 75%. And I the way I viewed it is it's better dad at 75% than not dad there at all.
Yeah.
So I know he apprecited it, and I got to go see him play a couple weekends, and it was awesome. It's something that he really enjoys, so I really want to support him with that. Yeah, because growing up, my dad didn't support a lot for sports and stuff. He was always away working or too busy, and he wasn't there in that regard. So I want to be like, love my dad. Don't get me wrong, and like. I call him the garden gnome, and he took offense to that. He's like, I know I'm the garden wizard. He's got a beard down to like here, and he just grows plants and stuff in his garden. But I haven't seen him in like 6 years. He's kind of a hermit up there, and I wish like he could have a relationship with my sons. But going back to it, he wasn't there for like the sporting events and stuff. So I want to make sure I'm there.
But like I've always said this, and I'll say this today: nobody owns anybody. No husband owns their wife or girlfriend, right? So at the end of the day, people are going to make decisions whether you like it or not. And if he doesn't want to be a part, then c'est la vie. Yeah. C'est la vie. I know it sucks and it's hard, but you can't force someone. It's like trying to force your significant other to stay with you and try to like bribe them or blackmail them. Like how do you want any? I believe in everything should be authentic. Everything should be authenticity based. Agree. Right?
Yeah. Your true self.
100%. Yeah. If you show up to me today and you don't want to do that, that's fine. That's okay. It's not going to ruin my life. It sucks, but I think what it is.
I think it takes a special kind of person to, I don't want to use the word put up with kind of guys who have the drive like you and I do, but to see that if you're not there with the family at that time, to really understand that you're not out there working your 10th day in a row, 16 hours a day for yourself at that point. Like
Yeah.
we would rather be at home. It's just there's work that has to get done.
Well, I think that's our love language, if you will, right? Like I love to provide. I don't want my significant other to work 60 hours a week. You know what I mean? And then grind, and like if it's to work, it's because they want a break from maybe the home life or something, and do whatever they went to school for. And that's their little time to chit chat with their friends at work and stuff. Like my wife works at the hospital. She works like 6 shifts a month, right?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I got to go to work. I always make fun of her. She's like, oh, it's like 3 o'clock. She's like, I got to work tomorrow. I'm like, just enjoy the rest of the day. You work 6 times a month, right? I understand you're like, you're taking care of the house and all that stuff, but just enjoy the day, enjoy the moment. I have to always try to coach her along. She's like, oh, I got to go. I got to get ready for this and am I going to reuse my hair or do I just enjoy the day, I don't know.
Have you ever thought about if roles were reversed? If, say, your wife was the one out doing 60, 70 hours a week?
I would never let that happen as a man.
But I mean, let's just say thought experiment. It's more so to think about, what do you think you would do with your time? Because I know for me, because I can't sit still, I think I would secretly find a way to go back to work and be working 60 hours a week again. Like I just can't envision myself.
Well, when it's in us, it's in us. What can we do? Like that's why I said I don't think I'll ever retire. I'll just transfer my energy to another situation or circumstance. Right? Yeah. I have a boatload of energy. I'm very gifted with it. So where I put it's very important to me. Yeah.
Right? Speaking of your energy and never retiring, what was your first business venture? Always been an entrepreneur?
Always been entrepreneurial minded. Yeah, I think I was 7 and I would go to the neighbor and ask him to borrow his lawnmower. I always saw that he had a nice shiny Honda lawnmower there, right? And I was like, well, he's mowing his lawn, right? And I was like, I wonder if people would pay for that if I did it for them, right? I don't have a lawnmower. Like I'm literally looking in my fridge at that moment because I was been creative my whole life. I was like, there's no food in there. You know what was in there, man? Pickle juice, mustard, and like what are they? Baking soda. Okay. That's it.
The fridge smelled good then, at least.
I mean, that's all there ever was. I mean, obviously, come welfare day. I usually liked welfare day because my mom would order pizza for us. But then we'd sit there, my sister and I, about a table this size, just by ourselves eating while my mom was on the other. It was never sitting down at the table. I don't even remember a time we all sat at the dinner table together when I was a kid, ever. It was always solo this. I could be out till midnight. No one cared, right? I mean, it was cool. I got to be up late and run around the streets and whatever. Didn't really get in much trouble. It was just, it's a pretty free feeling, right? But it gets you thinking a lot, right? So I'm just like, okay, well, why all my other friends got food when they come to school? Like I don't, right? So I'm like, how can I create that for myself and my little sister, right? I'm not fully blaming my mom. She had some pretty bad relationship. Guys beat her up all the time and raped and stuff, not good, right? So mentally she wasn't, she's 5 foot nothing, right? Yeah. She couldn't defend herself anyways.
She had her struggles.
Yeah, 100%. So, and I'm not totally blaming everything on her. It just sucks that I don't have good memories of that, right? It's the one thing I do regret. I wish I would have had some sort of family memories of some sort where they were good, right?
Do you have a good memory of your childhood with your mom?
No. Like, it's just like, no, not really. Like I said, she never took to the park or never went on vacation. Like never, because she was always on welfare. So what do you do is welfare? And I think she never like beat us or anything like that. So none of that happened. We weren't sexually abused or anything. I think my sister might have been from past boyfriends of hers, stories of her and from her after, but I can't have full proof of that. But I don't doubt it. Kind of guys she was with, yeah. So, but yeah, I got really creative at a young age and being like, okay, well, how can I put food in the fridge? Like, I've got 2 feet in a heartbeat. Like I can get out there and do something. So I basically went to the neighbor and said, hey, can I, borrow your lawnmower? And I'll give you $20 a day and I'll clean it after. So it gets back to you in better shape than you have it now. And I'll fill it with gas, right? I was running, like I run everywhere. I'm like hyper, right? Yeah. So like, boom, get it. I run to the gas station. I actually convinced the gas station attendant to lend me a jerry can. Yeah. And I just never brought it back. Stole it, basically. Sorry. jack that thing, had that thing forever. And then we'd just go and I'd do a couple jobs and I'd get a little bankroll of money and then fill up with gas and I'd just run up and down the complex it was actually on Collingwood Drive.
Okay, yeah.
You know where that is?
Yeah, when I first moved to Kamloops, when my first house was on Collingwood.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was from with my mom. So I'd run up and down like there's 42 or whatever fucking places that I can knock on doors and try to do it for $5. So I'd do the lawns for $5. And like next thing you know, I'm like $60, $70, $80. I'm like, sweet, right? So then I'd bring it back and I'd give them $20. I'd clear 40 and then I'd fill up with gas. And then obviously that's $3 or $4 or whatever. Yeah. So $35. I'd take it and I'd go right to Safeway and buy $35 worth of food and then come all the way home. I used to carry it in a cart because you could get a lot of food for that time. It was always macaroni and cases of Ichiban, right?
I mean, $35, 30 plus years ago was a lot of groceries.
100%. Yeah. And it was always Western family or whatever, like whatever the cheap stuff was, right?
Or compliments or
compliments. Yeah, that kind of a thing. Yeah. So I'd get that. And and all the cans, you'd see like the markings on it for me knocking them off, right? But I would take them in a cart. So I'd literally walk right out the door of the cart and I'd walk the cart right over to Collingwood where the top of where the highway is. And there used to be a dirt road going down.
Okay.
Remember the dirt road, the dirt walk path down? There was
I only moved here like 20 years ago, so I think I might have been gone by then.
Yeah, because there's a fence there now, but there was no fence before, and I would just take it. So in the corner, there was always a
stockpile of carts.
They're all mine.
Joe's cart business.
Finally, they'd pick it up or whatever, but then I'd drop the cart there. I'm like, whatever. And the odd time when I'd go back, I'd take the cart and backwards, drag it up the hill, and then take it over and drop it back off because it's the right thing to do, right? But not all the time. And then, I kept the food in the fridge, and my little sister was appreciative, and I got to sometimes pick stuff that I wanted to eat, right? So it's just good.
Did you buy Willy Wonka's chocolate bars back then? You always put a chocolate bar in the cart for yourself that love of chocolate?
No, it was mostly just food. It was like bread, eggs, and then just macaroni and cheese and Ichiban. Because that's 39 cents or 29 cents a package goes a long way. Mm-hmm. Right. So I got really good at making Ichiban. I'd have it with broth or without broth, and I'd put a half thing of butter in there with a bunch of sauce, and it was just like pasta, right? Made it feel like pasta. I didn't know how to cook. I knew how to boil, right? But I wasn't really a good cook, and neither was my mom. She didn't cook anything. So
I used to mix it with Cheese Whiz.
Yeah, that would be good.
Love that Cheese Whiz. That's something that tastes
so
good.
Bad for you.
Yeah, it tastes great, but it's so bad. It's just probably an oil byproduct or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But that was how I kind of started thinking of I've just created this much money out of thin air, right? And I realized quickly then, you build relationships, right? So each one of those people I went to, I'd go back, hey, Fred, how you doing? I was here last week. You want to top up of your grass, right? I'm here ready to go. Yeah, go ahead, kid, go get her done. And then sometimes they give me $5 and a tip, right? So I had a little business going on. Then finally he got I think he got fed up of me borrowing his lawnmower. Okay. So I ended up just buying my own. So I saved up enough money. Luckily, because I usually was just blowing it on food all the time, right? But I saved up enough money to buy a used, garage sales on Saturday. Yeah. I found one. I'm like, does it run? Start it up. It's like $25. Bought this lawnmower. I used that one. Yeah.
So you learned early on about reinvestment of capital then?
Yes, 100%. And we had small tools that were left in the little shed in the backyard of those sheds. I had little teeny sheds in those houses. And the guy left some tools. And there was luckily enough tools that I could take the blade off. And I took it to a place and they sharpened it for me. And I brought it back and learned how to put a spark plug in by myself. And just trying to maintain it the best I can on my own. So because that was my lifeline a lot more, right? And then I got a job doing newspapers too as well. So then I worked Kamloops this week, so I did Darfray and Warren's Trailer Park, and it was $83, between $80 and $84 a month, depending on the flyers that were delivered on Saturday, because they used to have those, you put it on your shoulder.
Yeah, I had a paper as well.
Yeah, and they were sticking out to here, and that's why I thought my traps were so big for all those years. It's so painful, right? Yeah. You're just walking. It's a free paper, so you don't get any tips really. But I mean, it was a consistent paycheck when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, I did it from 8 until 15, I think.
Wow, that's a long tenure. I
had one route, and then this is when my entrepreneurial journey started. And then I got a second route, and then I recruited my cousin, who was 3 years younger than me, and she would do the second route, but I only paid her half of what it was worth.
Of course, you're scaling, brother.
That's right. Economies of scale. You got to
100%
scale up.
Yeah, so I would do that right after school, and I always made money when I was a little kid. It wasn't a lot, but I used to always walk around late at night because again, didn't matter when I came home. So I'd walk around. I'm always thinking, there's got to be more. I can complete more. I'd look around at the street lights and go, someone someone built these and they're probably made good money from them. Like, who did that? Like, how did they do that? And I always started overthinking everything, right? And I always got my brain going in a different direction and always thinking like forward movement, forward production, always trying to push forward and not just be. And maybe that's been is also a pro and a con because I've been like that my whole life. I still am. So it's hard for me to just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm always thinking. And the funny thing is now I've talked to my brother about it, my adopted brother. And I'm just like, I have everything I want. I don't need more stuff. Like I'm blessed to have everything I need. I don't need more things. More things won't make me more happy. It actually makes you more stressed because now you have more crap to worry about it. Biggie said it the best: more money, more problems, right? Yeah. So I don't want to have. Everyone's like, "What's next, Joe? A jet, a helicopter?" I'm like, "No, I'll just rent that thing and I'll just pay someone to take me for a ride.
Yeah,
like,
lease it out for the day.
I don't need to own that stuff. What is this, like me trying to be better than everybody else? That doesn't make sense, right? I don't want that, right? But I have all the things that I need. I have shelter. I have security. I have my family. I have everything I need, and I don't need more stuff. But that's how I know I also love the journey more than I love the destination. Yeah. It's the same thing. How do you feel when you have a goal to get something and you get it? You're like, whatever. Yeah. But the journey to get there sharpens you. Like pressure makes diamonds, right?
You've already achieved the goals that you said would make you happy.
100%. And have they fully? No. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge car guy. Anyone who knows me that. So there was a huge goals to reach those pinnacles of like the type of machines that I'd like. And I love anything with an engine in it. And it puts me at net zero when I go for a drive. And that's my zen. Some people do yoga. Some people go to a play or go travel the world. I don't care too much for those things. We all have our own thing that we...
I remember, what's the white car that you have?
The Ferrari.
The Ferrari. Yes. I remember I'm in the parking lot at the mall, and I see you pull up in the Ferrari, and my son loves all things engines, jets, planes, cars, and I think he's...
That kind of kid.
That was a couple years ago you bought that now, right?
7 years.
7. Okay, so he would have been like 5. And you rolled up in the parking lot, and he's like, "Dad, look at that car." I'm like, "Oh, I know that guy." And I walked over and I said hi, and he's like looking at it. You can see him, and you're like, "Hop in, buddy." He's like, "You're like, I just got this." And I was like, "Are you sure?" He's 5 years old. He's like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, I want other people to experience them. Where did that kind of mentality about kind of sharing your love for that come from?
Well, we don't really own anything we have. We're only managers of it. Right? We're not taking it with us.
Yeah.
Right. So why not? Like that inspired me. Cars inspired me as a little kid. Right. Like my Ferrari story on my Instagram that's hit like 1 million views. Yeah. Right.
Tell us about that.
It was so I was in Battle Street, that house in Battle Street. Now that we're going back here, and my mom had a boyfriend named Jake. Loser, didn't have a car. Always hung over to the house all the time. Hung out, drink, and always get a little sauced or whatever. And he wasn't a violent dude, really, but he was just kind of one of many that hung around. Maybe he was around more than the rest of them. And I ended up getting, I think a friend. No. I'd gotten a few dollars for Christmas. And I used to, when you go to Safeway and Overweight, the end rows, you would have the Hot Wheels attached to those things. And for like a year or two, I was always trying to find the Magnum PI car.
Okay.
The 308, Ferrari 308. And never saw the car. Ever. It was always just other cars. And then finally I saw one, but I didn't have the money. So I hid it. So I took it and I stashed it like in a row somewhere behind things where no one could So as soon as I got enough money to get it, I ended up getting the money for the Christmas, whatever. And I went back there and it was probably a couple of weeks later and it was still there. I was like, yeah. So I got it and I bought it. And it was like super monumental for me. I loved it. So I'd take it out, I'd play with it, I'd envision me having a Ferrari one day, and I took like toothpaste, and we had toothpaste, and I would polish it.
Yeah,
and rub it on my shirt always, right? And always polished it, and always took care of it. I'd put it on the ledge of the window when I went to bed. It was my Ferrari, and it was like so important, and I loved that thing, and I was like, I'm going to have one day like this. I'm going to have one, right? And I would go to Jake and, I looked at him as kind of not like a dad, but kind of, he's older. I don't even know how old he would have been at the time, but I looked at him as like a father figure, if you will. And he was drunk. And I was like, Dad, Jake, I'm going to have one of these. And he just slapped it out of my hand and it went scratched across the floor and scratched it all up. And I was like, it fucked it right up, right? And the windshield, was like when it half falls out or whatever. Yeah. I cried and I was like, yeah, I will.
How old are you at the time?
Probably 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8, 9. Yeah, 8.
And you just smacked it right out of your hand.
Yeah, I was drunk, whatever. He's like, fuck. And I'm just like, maybe it was like malicious or anything, but probably, I don't know. The guy was, whatever.
Loser, you said.
He was drunk. I mean, if he was sober, he probably wouldn't have done that, right? He wasn't that bad of a dude, right? But I was just like all hyper and energetic. And I used to like, wrestle and stuff with like whatever mom's boyfriends that would be over, and I've always been like a fighting nature, right? So grab the ankle, try to take him down, and so like maybe it was just whatever. He was just drunk, maybe he had a bad day. I have no idea. Yeah. But long story short, he hit it out of my hand, and that was a fact. And it literally, I think it sparked a fire underneath my ass. And it just when I looked at him and told him, I'll have one day.
How did it feel when you finally got to that goal?
Holy crap! But everything superseded to that. It was like a symbolic thing for me. It wasn't a materialistic car I want to drive, I want to show it. No, it wasn't me trying to be like, look what I have and no one else. No, it's like, if I can reach that, I can do anything, man. Right? So everything correlated to that decision. So it's like, if like in high school, everyone's like, oh yeah, we're going out to party by the lake or whatever. I'm like, oh, have a nice time. I'm going to go work. I'm going to try to find a job or because I was called it the relentless pursuit of the prancing horse. So if it wasn't in the pursuit of that, it's a pretty easy fucking answer. I'm not interested. Yeah. You want to go get hammered and smoke weed? Fucking have a nice life. I'm going this way because I'm trying to hit my goal here, and that's going to slow me down, not speed it up. So if the answer didn't get me closer to that, I wasn't interested. So I'd go to, say if you're an employer and you had a job, I'd go to you and say, hey, Caleb, you're looking for an employee? Yeah, okay. I'd like to apply. Here's my skills. First, before we get into anything further, can I work double shifts? You're like, no, only 8 hours. Okay, have a nice time, right? I would like, if I could work double, then I'm going to get there twice as fast. Yeah. So it's like, I don't want any cap. If I can work all day, as many days as I want in a row, I'm interested. If not, I'm not playing in no capped game here, right? So it was like, because I just kept it at the forefront of my mind. If I can reach the Ferrari, it was, and again, the symbolic nature of it was very powerful for me. And it's literally transformed. That's why I'm so appreciative of the automobile and the car. That's why it's not just a materialistic thing that I have. That car sits there, and I am where I am in my life because of it.
Yeah. Some people would look at it and it's just a car, but for you,
it's gangster drug dealer guy. Like how many times I've been stereotyped in my life because of the nice cars I've had. Right? Oh, mommy, daddy's money. It doesn't matter. It used to bother me a lot when people would say that because I've worked so hard and I've done nothing bad in my entire life to get where I am. I've worked literally success by force, I call it, right? You work 8 hours, I'm working 16. Good luck. Yeah. I'll go into a room with 50 people in there and they're all applying for the same job. I'm like, I don't get sick. I'm literally resourceful. I will do what it takes. I'll work for free. Yeah. Work for free for 30 days. I don't care. I'll sign something right now. If you like what you see, hire me. Right? I want to be an asset, not a liability. How am I going to make you money if you're the boss? My job is to make you money.
100%.
Right? And I think of that same way in my business today. How if you hire me to sell your home, how am I going to make you money? That's my job. Wow. Or you could just put it on Kijiji or Facebook. Yep. You've hired me because I'm going to do what it takes to get you and to squeeze as much lemon juice out of that lemon as possible. Yeah. Right? And I'm the other way as Jekyll and Hyde when I'm the other agent. As a buyer's agent, I'm trying to get you the best deal possible. I love negotiating. I love winning. Right. So, wow. In regards to I think the goal of negotiating is that everyone is willing to do business with each other again. You don't beat them up too much, but you're trying to do what you can to make your client win. Yeah. So, yeah.
How do you feel about the state of young people today and how I think very few of them have that drive and that fire that you have now?
It's tough. I don't know if it's because of the history of real estate. Because think about this. 20, 30, 40 years ago, real estate was literally a year's salary. Yeah. Right? And then all of a sudden now it's blown up. Now you got the average home at 6, 7, 8, 900,000. So when someone sells that, they've got $500,000 in their pocket, and then they can take care of their kids and take care of this. That kind of abundance of money was not present 50 years ago. Yep. So you had to work. Your grandpa's like, you work for everything. Yeah, you did. You had to, right? So if you weren't resourceful and you weren't hardworking and you didn't get out there and see, like, you got nothing. Now you can literally be a lazy kid, sit and play video games all day long, and the parents, they don't want to have, as we just talked about it, the same childhood. Yeah. So then it gets to the point where that parent doesn't have the discernment to say, hey, look, like, I think I'm just coddling my kid here. And then when that kid has to get out and get on his own now, he's getting maybe kicked out of the house. He doesn't have the skills, the mindset, the work ethic to get out there and do what it takes.
So true.
So they're lazy.
Yep.
And I've seen a million of them. And I'll say it, I don't care. I'll say it to their face. Kids are lazy. A lot of the kids are lazy today. But on the contrary to that, if that kid today, in today's time, has a bit of energy, has a bit of, work ethic and has a bit of drive, he will slaughter.
Yeah.
He will kick everyone's ass. There's no competition.
Yeah.
Everyone else is feathered off doing their own little thing, playing video games, and you're like, fuck, I'll take it.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't take much to stand out these days.
No.
And there's so much opportunity. I've said it before too. If you're willing to go out there and even work half as hard as you or I might have before, you're going to be working 10 times as hard as everyone else.
Yeah.
It's ripe
There's
for the
so
taking.
much competition back then because there was no other option. Right?
You had to work, and you had to work hard.
You had to. If you want to change anything, you had to. Nothing was going to be given to you. Like I wasn't, even as a kid, I'm like, I'm not going to inherit any money and like get taken care of. Like if I want the Ferrari in front, I got to fucking work for that shit, man. I better get fucking pretty creative here and figure this out. Right? Because, it's getting real, and I don't want to be that. And I said, I know I'm going to get one day. I said that. But when is that going to happen? When I'm 80 or when I'm 30?
How many years did it take you?
I was 39.
39.
Yeah, my first one. It was the Ferrari 360. I cried.
Rightfully so.
Oh yeah, I bawled. I could have got it sooner. I could have got it in my 20s, but I decided and this is what I call delayed gratification. I was like, okay, I have the money to buy it, all mine. Have the money put away, saved up since I was little. But I'm like, what am I going to park it in front of my rental house that I'm renting? Am I going to put a car tarp over it over the winter time? Like that's I can't.
Wasn't the time.
It wasn't the time. Hard to take all that money and put it down on a home. But at least now I have my own house, and I got a 2-car garage at the time.
Yeah.
22 years old, own a home. It was beautiful. It was the best decision I ever made. Hence why I love real estate, right? I squeezed in that house. I literally sucked everything out of it, and out of my savings, out of my Visa card. I took a cash advance on my Visa card to pay the rest of the down payment for the house. I know.
I think the debt equity ratio worked a little differently back then.
Yeah. It was a lot easier to get a home back then. You had a job letter.
Yeah.
Literally, this was 23 years ago, right? And with a job letter, I could get I got a full-time job. Here's a pay stub. They didn't even ask for notice of assessments or anything back then. It was just like, here's a pay stub, here's a job letter, and you can write whatever you want in the job letter, and your manager would sign off on it. Yeah, he's making this much money a month. He's probably going to get a raise next month, and it was good enough for the bank, right? Yeah. But I'd saved the down payment for it, right? And I got it, and now I'm broke, right? And I'm like, I remember the first day I moved in. It was a beautiful house in Langley. Because I was renting in Vancouver, and everyone's like, "Why are you living in Langley?" Because I'm like, I could buy a house there. It was $315,000, and I moved into it. It had a spiral staircase going upstairs, crystal chandelier coming. Man, I'm used to living in like basement suites and like bunking with buddies and stuff. Like now I've got this massive 4-bed, 4-bath house.
It's a castle to
you.
you.
It was a castle to me, man. And I remember the first day I'm moving my stuff in. I got my hat tilted up like this. I'm goofy and hyper because my buddies are helping me move. I didn't have any furniture, right? So like whatever I had, that was moving it in. But the house was empty, right? Because I couldn't afford furniture, right? And this guy knocks on the door, and he's like, "Hey, son, how are you doing today?" He's like, "I'm doing a survey." He's like, "Are your parents home today?" I was like, no. I said, it's my house. He's like, no, I know that, but when are your mom and dad coming home? So it's a survey, there's a gift card with it or whatever. So I'm like, no, actually, I bought this house myself. It's mine. And it's like, he's like, oh, and he kind of peeks in, and it was like got a huge entryway, marble floor, this stunning house, man, right? And just aesthetically looking house. And it's funny, ironically, it's the very first, it's something I also tell my clients not to do today. I went on to like realtor.ca and I went to the 320,000 and under because that's what I could get approved for as for my mortgage guy. Yeah. And that was the first house I saw on the list, the first house I walked into, and the first house I bought. I didn't go to any other showings. I'm, I guess, the perfect client for a realtor now. Say, hey, I'll pick that one. That's the only one I want to see. So,
shiny objects.
Shiny objects. And I mean, for me, I'm like, this is a fucking castle. Yeah. Right? It's like 8,500 square foot lot, 2-car garage, basketball hoop in the backyard. I'm like, I feel like a little kid. Like I act like a little kid now. Imagine me 23 years ago, right? Even more so. Yeah. So anyways, he left and I was like, yeah, that's my house, man. I'm no more getting kicked out or like moved because people are selling the house or whatever. So it's like, it was a pretty cool moment and I'll never forget it. That like, this is my house, man. Yeah. And it's like, Now I've got to grind from scratch. Now with a bigger overhead, because now I've got a mortgage payment to pay for, right? And insurance and property taxes and utilities. That never was a fathom before. I never knew what that was. I learned the hard way of like, shit, man. I'm like, my Ferrari goal has gotten harder.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this now? So I have to get creative again. So I'm like, okay, well, I've got buddies. Maybe they can all live in a bedroom, right? So I charged everyone $500. I think I had 6 people at one time. My mortgage was $1,800 a month.
So you're making money at that point.
I was making money, brother. So that extra money went to my Ferrari fund, right?
Nice. Okay.
So I'm like, okay, how can I get? Always had a job and then a side hustle. So it was like either I had a power washing business or a drainage business, or I was doing something. Right, I had a small little car wash on Hastings way out by SFU. Had a little car wash. So I've always had some little teeny business with my full-time job.
Yeah.
Because if that side hustle kicked, then I could venture from my full-time job.
Yeah.
Right.
I've always been the same way, except for a period in time when I got in a car accident and couldn't work. I've had 2 jobs since I was like 18 up until like 33. Always had 2 jobs. 50, 60 hour
That's
weeks.
how you get ahead, though. Like, how do you expect to get ahead in an ultra competitive environment if you're just doing the bare minimum?
Yeah.
Why? And then those are the keyboard warriors. Oh, that guy's this and that. Yeah, it's because they're lazy, man. Like, look at yourself in the mirror. What could you do more? Like, the time to do is when you're young, when you don't have family, you don't have a wife, you don't have crazy bills, right? That's the time to put the foot to the pedal. It's the analogy of the rocket ship. Put your foot, with that rocket ship going off of planet Earth needs all the inertia at liftoff. Once you hit outer space, you're flying around at 400 or whatever miles per hour with the engines off.
But when it first takes off, it's barely even moving, and it takes all that energy just to get off the ground. Build up, and then it hits it, and then.
Then even before you hit the atmosphere, you can't let off the throttle.
No, you got to keep going.
Yeah, so that's the analogy I've used as an entrepreneur, right? You got to keep putting the foot on the pedal until something works, right? 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or whatever it takes. Yeah. Those are the people that I really admire, because when they do that, like, and if you have a head start from family or friends, and that's great, use it to your advantage, but then use that to put octane into what you're already doing in a good way.
Push it even harder.
Push it even harder. Yeah.
With going that hard, what do you do these days? I mean, you said you go for a drive, but I'm sure there's very few hours in a day or a week for you that you actually have for Joe time. So besides that drive, what do you do to make sure that? I mean, if I'm kind of already answering in my head, I know that probably filling your cup is the working, but like, what do you do in your downtime then that fills up the other part of your cup? I would say. Like,
nowadays, I make that time for family time, right? So I make that time. So say if I'm upstairs, I'm doing work, it's like 5 o'clock. I make sure I'm having dinner with my family. I make sure that I go for a bike ride or a scooter ride after. I would have never done that before. Like before in my marriage, my wife would be like, "Oh yeah, I made dinner." I'm like, "Yeah, put it in the fridge. I'll eat it later."
Yep.
She's like, "Oh, I'm going to bed. Are you coming?" No, I'm going to bed, man. I'll go to bed at 4, 3.
I got more stuff to do.
I have more stuff to do. I get so much done when everyone else is sleeping.
Yep.
Right? Planning or building or whatever it is, right? I can get so much with no distractions.
Yeah. That's why I love getting up so early in the morning.
Nobody's awake, man.
Yeah. I get so much done between 4 and 7:30.
Oh, you can get a whole day's work of someone else's job, right? Done to yourself, and before people are just starting to
no
wake
distractions,
up.
nothing. One of my favorite times, and people always talk about, seasonal affection disorder, the sun's down in the winter and stuff, but I love waking up and it's like 4:30 and it's pitch black out, and then the sun's not coming up till like 7 or 8. It feels like I'm sucking just like more out of the day. You know what I mean? It's fucking dark and I'm out here already busting my ass and everyone else is still sleeping away, man.
I used to say that I have an uncle that's still around. He's one of the only ones that's alive in my whole family. And he had stereotyped me once, and it got me fired right up. Like he came to my house to visit me. He was from Abbotsford and I was in Langley, right? And at the time I'd bought an Escalade, right? So I had I financed it. I had like a $1,000 payment on the thing, right? Like I was like, oh, that's 6 days of work and that's 3 days of work. That's how I used to justify it. I've had a problem with things. I like to think I'm intelligent, but sometimes I like stuff. I like things, right? And he came over and visited my house. My house is bigger than his, and my truck was obviously way better than his. He has an old truck. I had a new Escalade, 1 year old, and he had the audacity to call me a drug dealer. And I said, "You can leave."
Wow.
You can leave. I said, you don't even have a conversation with me. And I said, "You want me to break it down?" And I broke it right down with him. And I said, "Before you leave, I want you to hear you can leave my house, and I said, these are my, and I showed him my pay stub of like the job and my power washing at the time, and I broke it right down. I said, look, I work 16 hours a day. I make an average of $100 to $120 in tips per shift on a 16-hour shift, times 27 days a month. Right? This is my paycheck. These are my contracts for my power washing. I'm making $12 grand a month, right? As a 23-year-old kid, right? And I'm like, by force, right? And I said, this is the payment on my truck. This. I have 5 people living in my house. I live for free. This is why I have it. Yeah. Not because I'm a gangster drug dealer, right? Yeah. And then just the look on his face, I'm just like, and I said, you know what also, Uncle? When you're sleeping, I'm working. And then when you go to bed, I'm still working. You can't beat me. So you can say whatever you want about me. And yes, you were the most successful Doyle in the family, but not anymore. And I was like, I was mad. I mean, I'm 23 years old. I'm putting it on the chin to him psychologically and figuratively. I'm like, yeah, like you're not going to fucking beat me. Yeah. I don't care what you've done. I don't know what big business you've set up on your thing in Abbotsford. You're not going to beat me. Like, it's just a matter of time. I will pass everybody. Right. And those things, unfortunately, fired me up. That kind of stuff, like I hate being stereotyped. And I take it now on the chin a bit better than I used to, but I was like, imagine you working your ass off, getting shredded, 6-pack, all this stuff. Someone's like, oh, fucking steroid monkey. Yeah. Juicer, right? Like I'd be like that too if I did what you did. And you're like, man, I eat well, I go to sleep every day.
4 hours in the gym.
But then, I'm just like, all I'm doing is working my ass off. And then all of a sudden you spread that and everyone thinks that you're a juicer. And you're like, you can't convince other people. But you know what? I call that the crab in the buckets theory. Everyone, they're at the bottom of the bucket trying to pull you down. No one ahead of you is trying to do that to you. Yeah. It's only the people below you.
There's always that expression. I love it. It's you'll never meet a hater that's doing better than you.
100%. Yeah. Never. And I think to be self-aware of that, but to be also cognitive that that's out there. You're never going to get rid of that, right? It is a unique, and obviously it's good and bad. With my car problem, it's good and bad, right? It's, people say, oh, wow, good for him. And other people, you know what I mean? Like, I wish, then they say something because they can't get there. And I get it. And I've always tried to help people. Like, hey, let's sit down and talk. I don't know how many coffee meetings I've had over the last 5-6 years trying to help other young entrepreneurs or real estate agents and, how I got that far. Like, oh, what lead generation do I don't do any lead generation. I build relationships. Yep. And you got to try to nurture and take care of that relationship. It's like I said, it's a people business, not a real estate business. Yeah. Take care of people.
Yeah, you take care of someone and that someone tells someone and Joe was great to work with. And then someone gives you a call. It's like, hey, my friend just bought a house through you. And they said the experience was great. Do you think you could help me with this?
Yeah. And I'm so blessed at that. Because like if you refer me to someone, my job is to make you look like a rock star. Yeah. I can't let you down. You talk so highly about me for you maybe even said a couple hours of talking about me. And next thing you know, I dropped the ball with that guy. You're going to be like, Joe, man. Yeah. Like I put myself out there for you. Like, fuck, it's kind of a slap in the face. Will you ever refer me again? No.
Well, it's like giving a reference. If someone wants you to be the reference for a job. I think I've given out 2 or 3 in my lifetime because if I'm saying they're going to do a great job and then they don't, you want
to be a man of your word.
It comes back on me.
100%.
So I need to make sure that person is going to.
In life, whatever yin, there's a yang, man, and it's that's a real thing. So yeah.
Speaking of yin and yang, you had all these great successes because you worked so hard during that younger period of your life. Do you have any great failures?
Oh, I have lots. Yeah. Like you can't win all the time. If there's something wrong, if you're winning all the time, I actually, as much as the losses were hard, I embrace them because it's like I call it humble soup, right? Yeah, everyone has to have a dose of humble soup if you're signing yourself up for entrepreneurship, right? Or any kind of venture like that that's going to cost money or take time and energy. Because time is a commodity that we're all limited. It's the most valuable commodity of all. Yeah, right?
You can't buy it. You can only spend it, right?
100%.
Can't save it.
Yeah, some of the losses were like I've had a few where I almost went bankrupt and I was like, oh man, that was close, or scenarios that happened. And
what's the worst one for almost going bankrupt? What led up to that?
Well, I was house flipping when I was here. I was actually in Kamloops of all places. All the ventures I did in Vancouver, Langley, the coast, I always kind of had a full-time job as managing a pub, right? So that was always, I always said people drank in good and bad times. So it was recession-proof, right? Yeah. And if you dealt with longshoremen, iron workers, rebar guys, those guys drink their faces off, man. And very good people too, by the way. And it was a 7 days a week, 365 business. I always tried to do a side hustle, so I always had a side hustle. Like, man, they're not working. Or like if I collapsed and fell on my face, like I had a pizza shop in downtown Vancouver called Papa Joe's Pizza City, even though I was 25 years old. Spent 60 grand on the business, fell flat on my face. Didn't make a single dollar. People stole from me. Like it was like my reality of like, man, business is not easy.
What was the biggest takeaway you took from that? What was your learning from losing that business?
To do due diligence and to do proper due diligence and audit yourself in that same scenario. If you said to yourself, hey, if I don't have any staff and I had to work here every day in this business, would I be happy? If the answer is no, don't do it. Because there's going to be a time in that business you're going to have to insert yourself for as long as it fucking takes. Yeah. Right? And if you hate your life every time you go there and you despise it and your energy is at a low level, you're by nature you're going to fail. You don't even want to be there. Right? You have to have your heart into it. Yeah. If you're not a cook, don't buy a restaurant. Right? And that's what happened with me. I am not a cook. I am not a good cook. I have never really cooked. And I like to think I'm horrible at it. Right? If I put my full energy and heart into it and put everything aside, I can cook okay. Yeah. Right? But no. And I've had 2 restaurants. They've both fell on their face.
Restaurants are hard.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I commend anyone that can make it work in that world because that is relentless. Yeah. And it's crazy. You have to love it. You have to love it.
My first bartending gig was here in Kamloops. It was when Carlos O'Brien's first opened.
Okay.
It's managed and owned by Andy Kerverko. Okay. And Andy, for the first 2 or 3 years, was there every single fucking day working. Every Friday night, he was there behind the bar helping. Every Saturday, he's there early, he's there late. And for me, I was like 24, I think, seeing the hustle and knowing how much time he put in, that was a big takeaway that I took for later on in my life when I wanted to go out on my own. I'm like, that guy fucking worked his ass off. If I want whatever I'm doing to succeed,
you have to do that.
I got to be him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a great thing to take away from. And you see the people around you and like, if you do that, like I always said, if you work and you work hard, everything else will take care of itself. You don't have to worry about paying the rent, paying the mortgage, paying the car, whatever. You don't have to worry because you're grinding, you're working, you're getting it, right? You're putting yourself in a position to succeed instead of sitting there on the weekend. Oh man, I'm fucking paying my fucking payments and all. But meanwhile, you're hanging out on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What could you be doing to make sure you don't suffer through that?
I think when I first started that, I worked every Friday, Saturday because in the bartending industry, those are your 2 best nights.
Money.
I think I probably made 70% of my tips over those 2 nights, but I worked every Friday, Saturday for fucking years.
Yeah. We're saying that, the bar business, man. Right. For me, that was the eye opener because when I was in Vancouver, I followed my girlfriend there at the time. And I didn't know what I was going to do for work. I was probably going to, work at a gas station again because I was working at the gas station. I called myself a petroleum transfer technician, AKA gas jockey.
Gas jockey, yeah.
Right? And then I got into this pub. I'm like, I don't want to be around this stuff. Like, that's like, I don't even support alcohol or drugs or anything like that. I hate that stuff. But my girlfriend's dad at the time ran the pub. And he got me in there. And he's like, you work and you pick up glasses. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. And I started picking up glasses and staying there. I kept going once in a while every time I go to visit with her, I'd go help. And then he's like, okay, I want to put you on a shift on the floor as a bouncer. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm in a hard-nosed bar downtown Vancouver. I'm a fighter, so to speak, so I can handle myself. So I'm young, like I look like a little kid, 19 years old. And I was bouncing the bar and I actually got to meet a lot of really good people and it was good energy there and the odd fight once in a while and you throw some hands and right and then they'd shake your hand after. It was like almost old school. Right? A good punch, man. You got a good right hand on you, bro. Right?
I'm trained. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just and then I got behind as a waiter and I got to like, oh man, it's my first time making tips. So I was making like, at that time, I was like, a shift was like $40 a shift I'd make, right? But then I'd make like $40, $50 in tips. I'm like, man, I just made $90 today. I'm like, so how can I become a better waiter? Make more money, right? Yeah. So it's like, now there's no ceiling. As an entrepreneur with no ceiling, your wings are out now. Yeah. Now you can flap, right? So did that and that went well. And then I got a bartending shift this is kind of where my big kind of break came with like
Okay, I was going to ask.
getting over the threshold of the everyday, not really like growing substantially, but just like making it happen, saving a bit of money. So here I am now. I'm at the waiter position. Now I've got my first bartending shift on a Sunday. So now it's like, as you know, as a bartender, that's the premium space to be.
Yeah.
You're the man, right?
You're in the position of power.
The bar was packed every day. And now I'm this 19-year-old kid, just about to turn 20, behind the bar. And I'm pouring beer, and I'm like, girls are coming up to me, and I'm like, they don't care about the waiters, man. You're a bartender, right? Yeah. So I had like 12 fixed seats around the bar, and I would joke with everybody, and we had a lot of Cantonese clientele during the daytime mostly. And so I learned Cantonese. I went to school to learn Cantonese. Yeah, Chinese. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty random. I know, random. Because they tip more, right? They would tip really well if you could speak to them in their native language.
Yeah, for
sure. A lot of the old school Hong Kong speak Cantonese. It's a dialect of Mandarin. Mandarin, there's actually a written language, and it's more prominently spoken than Cantonese. Cantonese is a dying thing. But yeah, so I just tried to sharpen up all my skills, and then a moment happened. The moment was there was a manager and assistant manager ahead of me that had the full bartending shifts. My manager, he had Friday, Saturday, all the gravy shifts, night shifts. The other guy was the gravy day shifts. And then there was 2 other bartenders, and that was I was filling in for one for the Sunday. I only had the one Sunday. But I remember making like $70-$80 in like a day shift on Sunday and behind the bar, and it was way better than serving.
Oh, for sure.
I was
I love bartending.
This is what I'm talking. And I started thinking like, how can I make this bar more money? Like, how can I push sales and get like creative things going? So my entrepreneurial spirit started kicking in, right? And then there was a moment, and it was a really important moment, and both managers were leaving at the same time. And I was like, but I'm young. And I'm like, if someone else goes there, it could be 10 years before I get an opportunity to get another bar shift. That was right when they broke the unions. So like usually if someone was in a position, they did not give up their position. They did not give up their, because you work Friday night. Would you give up your Friday night shift?
Never.
Hell no,
Fuck
man.
No.
Do you think they're going to?
Nope.
So now I have an opportunity here. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, how can I convince the owner of the bar kind of go over the head of the manager, because he was gonna put someone in his position, right? I don't know how that would, because I mean, obviously I'm just a young buck. He was established there for 15 years. The other guy was there for 20 years. And I'm like, if I can get into this position, I can control my own schedule. If I can become the manager here. I went over the manager's head. He was leaving anyways, sat him down, said, look, I'm young. I'm 19. I'm turning 20. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs, right? I can work 16, 17 hours a day. At the time, there was no cell phones. So I had, like, you could have the flip phone Fido or the Fido phone, right? I will buy a phone. So I have my phone on my hip. If you give me a chance to become the manager here, I won't let you down. I won't let you down. I will work as much as it takes. I will fill every vacant shift. I am the guy. So you never have to worry about someone not showing up here. And not only that, I will live upstairs in the hotel for the first 6 months. I'll move out of where I'm living. It's an apartment, and I'll live upstairs. Not ideal, right? It's a rough part of town, but I mean, like, I'm like, whatever. I'm doing what it takes. The pub was fun. It was good energy. It was run properly. And I knew how it was run because I'd been there for a year and saw how things were working. He's like, oh, you're young, Joe. I don't know. And he's like, I'm like, okay, how about this? Right now, nuts on the table, I said. I literally said that. So what's your best day on welfare day? Like, what's your, like, Mardi Gras? They call it Mardi Gras day, right? It was pensioner day, old folks day or whatever, and then welfare day, right? And that was usually, you know, everyone came out that day anyways, right? And the next Friday was payday for the longshoremen and iron workers and stuff, right? And money coming through like crazy. It was busy. And he's like, yo, this was our number. And I was like, if I beat that, give me the opportunity. When they both leave, it's a vacant position right now. Give me the opportunity to work that. If I beat that number, give me the job. Right? Holy fuck. He's like, okay. Shook my hand. Okay, so I got to figure this out. So here I am, I'm like, okay, I need shooter girls. We've never had shooter girls before, right? So I'm like, here's all the prettiest girls in there that come to the bar on Friday, Saturday. I'm going to give you a shift. I will pay you out of my pocket. I want you to work, and you can keep whatever tips you have, and I'm going to pump you with vodka or Cantini or Fireball shots, vodka shots, Zambuca, China Whites, B-52s. That was kind of the stuff that always went, right? And, gladiators and stuff like that too, right? And then I want 2 of them on. And it was overset. We had a lot of staff, and some of the staff were pretty upset because now it's taking some of the tips from them, right? But like, no. I said, I have a plan. Please follow me with this. And I said, I'll make sure I'll make it up to you guys in Lorong down the road. But I have a goal here. I'm trying to become the manager here, right? Trying to get this. So anyways, I started about 45 minutes early when I'm supposed to open. Got a head start. Yeah. And I stayed about 35 minutes late after the bar closed and just pumped, and sold everything. I just pushed my waiters. They'd come with the big aluminum tray, 16 glasses, 16 glasses, 16 glasses. Go. It was high volume bar. And I pumped the living crap out of it, man. And I even threw my own tips into the till. Yeah. And just punched him in as like beer and something, right? Like I literally put all my money. I think I made $180 that night, right? And I put it all back into the till, and I beat it by 40%. Wow. I smashed the sales record. Yes, obviously I pushed it super hard. I did things and I pumped it up. He's like, his eyes opened up, and I was like, and he gave it to me. So then the next day I look at the schedule, and I just schedule myself every day. Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, double shift. And I didn't do singles, I did doubles. Mm-hmm. So it was like 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Right. And I did every day.
The Clopens, they call
every
those.
Every day.
Open.
And I was like, nope, I don't even need staff. I don't even need bartenders. I'm the bartender. Right. So I went, that was when I was 20. By the time I was 22, like it was about a year, I had enough for my down payment for my house. Wow. That's how I bought my first home. Okay. I literally just saved all of it. I saved all my money. I can't spend it. I'm there every fucking day, man. I didn't even have a day off. I think I did 240 something days in a row.
Jeez.
Yeah, double shifts. Wow. You know why? I was scared. Mm-hmm. Fear mentality. Mm-hmm. If I took a day off, would he lose confidence in me, my boss or the owners? There's 2 of them. Would they lose confidence? Would they put someone else in my place? Would they go there, see something they don't like, and don't think I have it under control? If I was there every fucking day, I could control it.
Yeah. I feel like
fear, man.
Yeah, I feel like with how hard you work and you always have a side hustle on the go, that for you to leave something like that, there must have been some other bigger opportunity. So what happened for you to leave the pub then?
So the story with that, it was a little bit of a road. It's a little bit of a longer story, but that one was, so I was at that pub for 7 years. And then I don't know if you remember when smoking rooms came into effect into the BC pubs. Yeah. At the time, the owners, because they're very fair-feathered, they don't pay attention. They think they're Jesus or whatever, and they don't need to be listened to anyone or do anything because they've been working like that since probably the 60s. They're older, right? Yeah. They never incorporated the red plans into the city of Victoria, where they issued the liquor licenses. So we had built an entire smoke room there because that was great for me because I don't smoke and I didn't want to smell that crap. Mm-hmm. So I was happy these smoke rooms were there, right? And it did affect business at first. People did not like to do that. They wanted to smoke.
They wanted to smoke it wherever they wanted, whenever they wanted.
100%. Yeah. But then all of a sudden that calmed down. People came back and blah, blah, blah. But all of a sudden one day, I'm going to fast forward here. These people from the city came in and said, hey, do you have your liquor license? And we want to take a look at it. We're from the city. Oh, yeah, here it is. They took it out of the frame and they said, oh, yeah, you're closing down at midnight tonight until further notice. I was like, what? Well, what's going on? I'm freaking out, right? And at that time, I just bought like a crotch rocket, a hot tub for my house. I have no money, right? So I spent my money because I'm like, oh, I've got a good job. Like,
there's more coming in.
There's more coming in, man. I'm good. I didn't have a side hustle at that time. I was all in with the bar, right? And next thing you know, they didn't submit the red plans, so they shut us down until we got proper drawings from an architect and all that kind of stuff, and an engineer and all these things with support and beams and with the did not know any of these things, and now the place was shut down for like 6 months.
And you're not a guy to sit around and wait.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Yeah, I have a house. A lot of my tenants, my friends that were living with me, are no longer there, so I wasn't living for free anymore for the majority. And I'm like, well, I got a house to take care of. I got car payments. I'm like, man, what am I going to do? I'm freaking out, like stressing, right? You know, where your gut feels sick. And when you're young, you don't handle stress like you do when you're older. I think younger, I think it's like I had cramps in my stomach all the time because I'm worrying so much, right? I'm like, oh man, what did I do? Why am I an idiot? Why did I buy that crap? Oh man, I shouldn't have bought. I should have had a nest egg in my bank. I should have not spent all it all. I'm like, fuck, well, you idiot, Joe. And that's funny because I'm going back to the Ferrari thing. Trail back a little bit. That night, I went to the Petrocan right by the Peony. That's right off Hastings there, and Renfrew or Rupert. I think it's Rupert.
I'm not sure. I'll take your word for it.
It's kitty corner to the Peony.
Okay, I know right? The Peony is, yeah.
And I'm in there, and I'm not doing well. I know this thing's going to get shut down for a while, and I have no job going back because it's Saturday night tomorrow. I'm like, I've worked every Saturday for 7 fucking years. What am I going to do on a Saturday, right? I need to find a job or something, right? So anyways, I'm freaking out, not feeling good, overthinking everything. Pull up to the gas station. There's a guy with a 430 Ferrari there. Ferrari 430, red, tan interior, getting gas. And I went over to him, like, man, that car's beautiful, man. He's like, thanks, man. And I said, I'm going to have one day. I'm coming. I said, I'm coming for that. I'm coming for it. He's like, yeah, you will, man. Put your hand. I said, honestly, man, I'm having a really rough night. I just lost my job. And you know, I'm kind of hit bottom here in my mind, and I don't know where things are going, but thank you for bringing that car here at this moment. That it fucking fired me up, man. I'm like, because he's fucking driving. Why can't I?
That's what you needed in that moment.
I needed that in that fucking moment, man.
Yeah.
And I left there, and I'm just, okay, I got a plan. I got to figure this out. So then I have I don't know if I have another long story, but anyways, how I found a mentor. At the time, I was like, okay, I don't have anyone for advice. I have no one to go to and talk to. I have no one to guide me in the right direction. I'm the guy. I've always been the guy that's had that shit figured out. So who the fuck do I go to get information from, or advice, or some sort of opportunity? All I've known is the pub business here. And I've done well at it, but that's all I know, right? And now I don't have it. So now I'm lost, and I got a house to pay for, right? And I'm all by myself. I don't have family to get money from or bail me out. Fuck, man, it was all me, right? I'm the first one in my family to buy like a real estate, to buy a home, right? Yeah. You know? So I'm like, okay, I got to get creative here. How am I going to run into somebody or talk to somebody who has more than me, that's been somewhere that I want to go, or is doing the things where I want to be? So I got my book of ideas. I got on my Escalade at the time because I still had it, and went to Wassen, and I started knocking on $1 million doors.
Cold knocking.
Yep.
Wow.
I'd pull my truck into a cul-de-sac, and these houses are, I don't even know, I wasn't a real estate guy then, but a couple $1 million each, overlooking the ocean. Like their front door is the size of your wall. And you look through the glass and you see ocean on the other. You know what I mean? Like their door is worth more than my life. You know what I mean? So I just knocked on doors, said, my name is Joe. I'm looking for advice. Right? I've just lost my job. I have this beautiful truck outside that clearly I won't be able to pay for very long. But I've done well up into this point. I obviously made some mistakes. I have done some things wrong. I don't know what to do, and I'm looking for some advice. And either they would slam the door in my face, or they would go, "Kid, you got some balls, man. Like, you're going somewhere." And a couple people are like, you know what, give me your number. Maybe my husband will give you a call or something after, and you never know. But anyways, long story short, I think I knocked on 31, 32 doors, and then I knocked on a door. And a wife answered the door and said, "Hey, yeah." And I said, I gave her my spiel. She's like, "Okay, I think my husband would be willing to give you a hand and help you with that." He wasn't there at the time. And she's like, "Oh, just wait here and I'll give you his number, right?" And I was like, "Okay." So then she shut the door and lock. I was like, "Oh, I think I scared her." So I waited for a bit, 5 minutes. She didn't come back. I was like, "Okay." So I went back into my truck, started driving away. Looked back in my rear view, and she opened up the door. So I stopped the truck. I ran back there. "Here's the number." I said, "Sorry, I thought that I spooked you out. I'm sorry. I know this is unorthodox." I said, "All I'm trying to do is get some advice today. I'm not looking for anything. I'm not looking for money. I'm looking for him. I'm thinking, if I run into the right person today and they see something in me, they might direct me somewhere. That's someone that can maybe give, that, and say, like, this kid's got some drive, some ambition. Maybe that this would be a good scenario for you." Right? It's some sort of an asset of some sort for somebody. You're like, you never know, right? I'm out there doing something no one's willing to do, right? And his name was Adrian, and he owns a company called Dynamic Achievements, and he's a business and life coach. And that's whose door I knocked on.
You knocked on the right door.
He's been my mentor for 22 years. Yeah. And so anyways, I call him, and he says to me, I told him the situation. I said, "Look, I'm in this beautiful home, Eaton. I thank you for, first and foremost, for taking my phone call." And he's like, "You know why I'm helping you, Joe?" He's from South Africa, so he's got a very strong accent, right? He's like, "I've never seen an approach like that." He's like, "I literally do elevator speeches. I do coaching. I do a presentation. People want me to work with me after I've talked. But you literally came and knocked on my personal home door." Right. And that's why I'm willing to give you a hand. But in order for me to help you, you have to be authentic with me. You have to tell me truthful everything. Right. And I said, "Yep." So you just tell me things. I'm like, "Okay, how much money do you have?" "I have this much." "How much?" "Okay." So and I was like, and he's like, "Okay, do you have any money?" I said, "Yes, I actually do. I have 10 grand. It's my safety net right now." He's like, "Do you have any debt?" I said, "Yeah, I have a Visa card." "What's that at?" 10 grand. He's like, "Well, you have nothing then." I said, "No, I got 10 grand. Yes, I owe 10 grand, but I can pay that slowly." Right. He's like, "You have nothing. You're actually going backwards." I was like, "Oh, well, okay, all right." But I didn't really think of it like that, but whatever. And I told him about all my toys and cars and hot tub and all my crap that didn't really, add value to my
Material
life,
things,
material
yeah.
crap. But now I'm like struggling here. So he basically, in a nutshell, he'd give me a series of things to do. He'd be like, okay, I want you to write an essay. Who am I? What value do I add to life? What shall I do? What am I a slave to? How shall I live? What can I learn from him or her? And, I'm forgetting the last one. I've got 7.
Yeah.
And I wrote an essay on every one of those. And it tells me where I am in my life at that moment, right? Holy shit, I'm a slave to my things. I'm a slave to the bank. I'm a slave to this. He's like, there's good debt and bad debt.
Yeah.
And he's like, you need to identify that. No one's taught you these things, Joe, so I'm going to help you, right? So anyways, he'd give me a series of things to do. He's like, first thing you do is take that $10,000, pay off your Visa, cut it up. I'm like, well, then I'm broke. He's like, well, you're already broke.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. So I did, and it inspired me. I paid it off, cut them. Like, holy fuck, I got no money, right? Like zero no money now, right? No overdraft or nothing, right? And sold some of my things, my hot tub for dirt cheap. I sold my truck and just a bunch of other toys. I had a fucking garage sale outside my house with all the random shit in my house I could sell on a Saturday because I have nothing to do on Saturday now, right? And I'm selling like my personal stuff for peanuts to try to put money in my account again. So it really, it's like I was on a high and then I dropped down low and I'm trying to get back up again, right? So anyways, he's been my mentor for a long time. I reach out to him every time I need advice, or if I was making big decisions, I would revert back to him and I'd say, hey, like, what am I doing here? Let's talk about this. Is this a good idea? What is your perception on this? So he's been my personal mentor and my friend for years, and I can pick up the phone anytime and call him. And I said, this is not about me growing my net worth, just so you know, Eaton. This is about me being able to get into a position where then I can then give back.
Yeah.
Right? This is what you are putting into me for me to then give out. Because if you have a cup and you could barely have anything in it, how are you going to give to others if you can't give to yourself?
Yeah, you can't give back until your cup's overflowing.
100%. So he helped me get where I am. Because of him, I am where I am, 100%. Right? He still has an issue with my car problem, right? But we all have our thing, right? Yeah. So he's just like, I don't understand why you have those toys. Those cars are nothing like cars. Like, he's not a car guy though, right? Yeah. So he doesn't care about it. He has like a whatever, I think a Honda Element or something like that. So
Toyota Camry.
Like, he's just that kind of guy, and that's fine, right? To each their own. But the mindset and the tools he gave me, I feel every time I talk to him on the phone, I could conquer the world. Mm-hmm. And he gave me the strength to do. So he's like, Joe, I see you getting into a position of sales, a position where there's no ceiling. Mm-hmm. So he inspired me and wanted me to go get out into sales because I don't have a job. Yeah. So I went in, knocked on the door of a dealership. They said, no, we're fully staffed here. And I didn't give him an option. I'm like, I'm going to be there until I get a job. And I was. And I said to him, I'm here. They go, yeah, well, like, you can. And he's like, yeah, if we let you know, give us your number. I said, that's okay. I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll give you my number, but I'll be back here tomorrow. Yeah. There'll be a time a sales guy doesn't show up or screws up or quits or something, and I'll be right here. Yeah. Right? I have no bad habits. I've never been in the sales business before. I've never been in the car business before. But and you can teach me from scratch.
But you had personable skills.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I just said, and then he's like, oh, okay. And I came back the next day. He's like, oh, you weren't lying. I said, no, I'll keep coming back every day until you hire me. I said, this is the most central dealership in Langley, right on Preston Chevrolet Cadillac. Okay. Right on the corner, right on 200th Street, right? Bypass there. And beautiful location. And I loved the cars that were in there. I'm a huge car guy, right? So, and eventually he's like, okay, yeah, start Thursday. I'm like, okay, thanks. Right? So I got a job right away and I'm in there working every day. And that was my first realization of like having to pay huge taxes. Because now like half my paycheck's gone. Yeah. Right. I'm like, holy crap. Because I'm used to making minimum wage and then having tips, right? And keeping all the tips, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So, and that was like, holy crap. Now I'm in a business where that's fine, but I had to work super hard to make half of what I was making in the pub business, right? That's fine. At least I'm able to pay my mortgage payment. And got in the car business, and then it's another long story later about how I got back in the pub business again, and then owned it and then sold. But like, I don't know if you want to get into that, but I mean,
what I want to touch on there, I think it's a really beautiful parallel. Is so many people talk about what their big break is, and it's usually they talk about big breaks. I had this opportunity, or I stumbled upon this job, or this. But I feel like your big break was actually something that came from struggle. Is a lot of people, they lose a job and they just go down, circle the drain. But your big break, you never would have met Eaton had that pub not shut down. And then you went out and, as you've said, you brute forced your way into that. But if that pub was still going, you might have been stuck 100%. There another 5-10 years.
100%. I would have never learned half the stuff I learned. I wouldn't have met the people I would have learned. I was so used to working in kind of a, in a location. And as you know, the pub business, if it's that type of pub where it's like everyone, it's a 95% regular clientele.
Yep.
And they live there, right? So no offense, who am I going to loin with or link with to grow? No, nobody, because I don't want to drink, right? And that's what they wanted to do every night after work, is have a pint or two of beer and drink their face off and go home and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So like I was never networking with anybody and doing anything, right? So because of that, obviously I'm thankful for that happening. I'm thankful for that situation. At the time it wasn't, but it's funny how you see the blessings through the hard times.
Wow. Yeah. I know you said you failed pub and yada yada, but I think I would really like to know how you ended up back in Kamloops then, and where you're at now with being a real estate agent. What's the story there?
Okay, so I guess I can kind of go shortly right after that situation. So getting into sales, doing that was good for 3 years. I did okay, but I kind of still miss the bar business, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. The energy, the dopamine. It was like, you're like, hey, guys, like, hey,
you're
Joe.
A superstar behind
I was a superstar, man. They called my pub the hot spot. So long story short, here I am. I miss the energy of the pub business because the dealership closes at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, but the thing is, I didn't have the confidence to go work in a nightclub because I didn't know how to make Crantinis. I didn't know how to make mojitos. I only served beer and served hard liquor.
Yeah.
So if you ask me as a bartender for how long I've been, how to make a special, I don't know how. I've never done that.
Okay.
I never did that because I only poured hard liquor and poured beer and popped bottles.
Yeah.
That's it. Like bottles of beer and coolers. It was that type of pub. It wasn't a pub where you had specialty drinks. It was quick, right? And that stuff was more expensive anyways. And the glass of beer is $1.25, pints $2.50, right? It was cheap, all right? So here I am sitting in the pub, and then I went down. This is a bit of a personal story, but I went down to the pub up here. I was waiting for the pub to open back up again so I could go back into my old bar again and go work and start up, because I thought 7 years, I can go back here at any time. I've paid my dues here.
Exactly.
I went back there, and at the time I was a good friend actually from Kamloops that I was working at the other pub across the road. And that one got taken over by a big honcho guy trying to bring in different clientele. It was the one across the street, like doing like parties and like flash mobs, stuff like that, right? Different client, not regular clientele. So anyways, I go back to the pub 7-8 months later, and I see my friend in there. I'm like, "What are you doing in here?" Because it actually had a sign on the office door saying I'm not allowed to go inside. I'm like
specifically, Joe was
allowed? Joe's not allowed in here. I'm like, why?
No Joe's allowed.
Like what? I've done so much for this pub and the owners. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't do anything wrong. What happened was, and everyone was scared of me there. I was a little bit of a hothead because of the bar business. I got in a lot of fights, and everyone knew that I would put you to sleep if you fucked around, right? And the staff all knew. And I stuck up for all the staff when the problem people that went up in the hotel would cause a fight, and I would like kick them out. I helped all the staff, right? And so he's like, Jojo, I'm sorry, but you're not allowed in here. I'm like, I'm coming in, man. This is my bar. I'm coming in. Hit the door open. I walk in. There's my buddy in the bar. I'm like, what are you doing here? It's my bar now. I'm the owner of it. I paid money to the owner, and I'm taking over. I'm leasing it. You piece of shit. So I said, right now we're fighting. I brought you in, literally gave you a place to sleep, trained you in this business. Now you're taking over my bar. It was a little hurt. It was hurt that a friend did that to me and stabbed me in the back, right? So we scrapped, right? And then all of a sudden I left the bar, and I got handcuffed on the street because we called the police, and I got let go because I know all the police officers there. He's like, Joe, what's going on? I'm like, we had a mutual fight. I told him to come. He came. We fought. Right? Yep. Yes, I kind of started it. I sparked it, but we got together, and no charges were filed or nothing. But we had a little scrap, and we were friends, and we're young, right? And at the time, and obviously not friends anymore at that time. But then he ran the pub, and then and he took it over. So there's nothing I could do. So I went back and started still selling cars and doing the thing. And then an opportunity came across the street where, because I'd come down every once in a while after, because there's nothing to do at Friday, Saturday night, because the bar, the dealership's closed at 6 o'clock, and I'd linger around and talk to the manager about the bar across the road. I didn't go to the one over there because I didn't want to show my face there. It was hard for me, right? Because that was my place, right? And emotional. And but I wanted to get back into the area because there was all the regulars there that I missed the regulars and I missed the people, right? And I went in there and I did my spiel again. I'm like, hey, I'd like to come here at nighttime from 6 o'clock. I offer to help for free for a few weeks. And if you like what you see, hire me, right? So he hired me, but he's like, are you okay with $4 an hour? It was, I'm not going to say the type of ownership that it had, but it was a different type of ownership, different than the ethnicity than myself. And I said, I don't care. Yeah, sure. I took it, right? And so I started building that business up again. And the regulars started coming in. But then I'm going to fast forward here. So it was good to finally have 2 jobs again like that. And I'm happy to be in the bar business, right? And it sucked because it was so packed across the street, but everyone knew and loved me, so they'd start to linger over. But then something had happened. The owner would be like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And he's like, yeah, Joe, tell everyone to leave. I'm like, why? He's like, oh, the flash mob's coming in. They're coming in. We're doing an event. I'm like, but they're coming here. Like, these people are they have money. Yeah. Like, trust me. Like, it's going to take a while to build this. But I mean, I don't feel like at the point I have the power to say anything because I'm just a new guy here, right? But I'm starting to build the business, right?
And I think when it comes to like a pub, I think the numbers are something like if you have like 15 or 20 regulars that are there 5 days a week, they pay all the bills and then everyone else is your profit. 100%. So if you're kicking out the regulars, you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Dude, it was so hard, man, because I'm like, here, I finally back in the bar. Yeah, I'm at the one across the street, which is not my place, not the one, because I renovated the one across the street with my own money and painted it and I always fixed the seats because they always ripped and teared and I'd get vinyl. I was doing it myself with staples at the end of the shift and I'd fix the seat. Like I put my heart into that place, man. I loved it. Right. And now I'm at this other place here and this guy's a big wig and he knows more than me and all this stuff. And that's fine. But I'm telling you, this area, though, please, if you cater to regulars, we can get majority of the market share. Didn't believe me. Didn't trust me. And then all of a sudden we start building it up and I'm building the regulars. I have to kick them out. Now the flash mobs, they were busy for sure. But a lot of times they brought their own alcohol or they like pre-drink and then just party there. So we weren't spending a lot of money there, right? But then sometimes they would and I was doing well and New Year's was a kicker, man. New Year's I made like $1,500 in tips on New Year's. I was like, I'm back. I remember driving home. I'm like, I'm fucking back. I'm back.
I remember those big nights and how you felt after.
Dude, because I at the car lot, I had a courtesy vehicle they gave me because I was part of fleet. So I didn't even I could sell both my cars. I had no vehicle, but I got a fleet vehicle. So I asked if it was permission to drive it. Do you know? He's like, yeah, you're fine, right? So I could drive it to Vancouver and work and then drive home. It was a Colorado, right? In brand new Colorado. Yeah. Anyways, I drove back. I'm like, I'm back. Fucking, I'm back. So I'm like, now I've got 1,500. It was a long day. It was like a 20-hour shift, right? But I started and I finished and I got tipped out the ass, man, right? And I was like, back. And then all of a sudden, I'm back on the next Friday because I had Friday, Saturday shift, right? Those are my money. And I'm starting to get the regulars. Like they're starting to come. And then he says to me, he goes, hey, Joe. He's like, oh, yeah, there's another girl going to be taking your Friday, just so you know. And it was just some girl that he had knew from a previous thing that she had big knockers on her. And obviously he wanted to probably look at her more than me, right? Which is fine, whatever. You know, because I mean, I don't look like that, right? And I lost my Friday shift and I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? And then all the regulars stopped coming a little bit. And then I was like, they're like, sorry. They'd come to me and say, sorry, Joe, man. Like, we're trying to support you here. I know he was 7 years over there and we're trying to support you here. But he's like, we're just not getting the love, man. Like, I'm like, fuck. So, and then he's just like, yeah, and then the boss at the time, he's like, yeah, these people don't have money, man. I'm like, I'm telling you they do. Long story now, fast forward. I go to the Savoy across the road. It's a different pub up the road, right? To another pub up there. And they brought me in as a bartender. And everyone, and they opened it with my philosophy, and they already had the same sort of philosophy as the pub across the road that I built. Yeah. And they were really dead there, but they had the same. They weren't doing the flash mob. They believed in the regulars. I blew up that business, man. Everybody came there. It was packed every night. I got to work basically 6 days straight, 7 night shifts, and then I started working double shifts, right? And I was like, I'm back, man. I'm getting it back rolling. And then the owner, and then long story short, the person that said that those people have no money did a midnight move out because they couldn't make the rent. The rent was $10,000 a month. Couldn't make the rent, walked out. So the owner of the pub came back. He was like, "Hey, Joe, I know, sorry for like giving the bar to your buddy there." I'm not going to say his name, but he's like, I got another opportunity for you if we want to make it work and go to the bar that you know across the street there where you worked for a bit, and we'll give that one to you. You can lease it. And I'm like, I don't want to be involved with that. Like, you screwed me over. Like, I'm happy where I am. I'm making good money here. They're taking care of me here. Yeah. Like the hours were only till midnight too, so I didn't have to work till 2 a.m, right? So I was like, and I didn't want to be the manager there, even though they tried to push me to, I want to be a bartender. That's what I want to work, and I want to go home. Yeah. Right. And I thought that was going to be the end of my bartender journey. And once I ended there, I'm not ever going to be back down here again. I'm going to do something different. And then they kept coming and harassing me, and I said, "Joe, take the pub, take the pub." And finally I said, and I was filling up, we used to sell cans of beer and on ice in buckets. And I'm filling up a can of Budweiser in there for like the millionth time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just making other people rich. Why don't I do something for myself? And then eventually I went over and I said, yeah, I'll do it.
I was going to ask, when did the mindset shift? Because clearly you have the skills and you have the drive and you put the time and the blood and the sweat and the tears into it to make other people money. Is that when it flipped for you, when you're like, the time I put in should be making me more?
Yeah.
Opposed to someone else?
Yeah, I was like, I'm 28 years old now, right? And I'm like, I'm not where I want to be financially, and I'm like, I'm going to have to make a big boy decision here to surpass the threshold. I see my buddy who took my pub, he's flourishing. He's doing awesome, right? And here I am still, and a little bit of an ego thing too. Like, I brought him in and he was working underneath me, and I was his boss, and now he owns and I don't, right? And I'm like, you know what sweet revenge would be? To take the bar across the street where he once was and then literally just crush it. Yeah. So that's what did it. I was like, yeah. So I went, and so I said yes. I gave my 2 weeks notice at where I was working, which was hard because I was just like, man, I'm used to making certain. Everyone's like, where are you going? And I'm like, I can't say nothing because that's not professional to do that. They'll see soon enough. It's just down the road, right? And I would go there after work, midnight till about 5, 6 in the morning. I'd fix everything in there. I went in there, started fixing the walls, painting things, getting my buddies and whatever connections I had, plumbers, electricians, because the place was pretty ragged at that time. Yeah. It had been empty for a while. And nothing worked. Glycol machines didn't work. Nothing worked. And it was like compressors were done and the beer taps weren't even there. They took everything. And so it's like I had to now, all of a sudden, I knew the bear reps. So I went and told, hey, look, I've got my own place now. Would you do me a solid and pump me with all new taps and a 1 day full of full stock, or for like a one order, and I will stick with you forever. Yeah. And I said, you guys know that if people come here, they're gonna follow me, and then you'll have no problem, and I'll sell a fuckload of beer. Right? And they said, okay. So they invested a ton of money into me and put taps in there and glycol machines, compressors, and glass washer and dishwasher and all that stuff. The
whole 9 yards.
Whole 9 yards. Set me up, man. Right? And I remember, and this is now 30 days later, I'm sitting at the end of the bar, about to open up the door. And there's been secret talk about I'm about to open, right? But I'm just been burying myself in the pub. And I'm sitting at the end, I'm like, there at the bar, and before it was open, for my first day, and I'm like, this better work. Because I took out a private mortgage on my home. Okay. I took a private mortgage out, which is like called a shark loan. And if I didn't make a payment, they'd go after my house. Yeah. I missed a payment. It was very strict. It was like, it's hard money, right? And I was like, okay. And I was like, this better work. I opened up the door, bro, and I had a lineup up the street. Like,
your reputation preceded you at that point. I
cried, man. And I was like, and I literally it was the busiest bar on the street the entire time I owned it. I emptied everybody, bro. We called it the hot spot, home of the Joe Fuck Up. It was a drink that I invented like 8 years ago. Kahlua, Zambuca, Amaretto, vodka, milk, and Pepsi, right? And it was called a Joe Fuck Up. And I sold like probably 100,000 in my entire career. People came there. It'd be like on the wall was a mural, the hot spot, home of the Joe Fuck Up. Right? So people would come in like, hey, have you ever made a fuck? Because other bars were selling it as a fuck up, not a Joe fuck up, right? Yeah. So like they're like, you know how to make a fuck up? I'm like, yeah, I think so, right? You invented it, right? Because I did it by mistake when I was 19 years old, right? I made it.
It was a fuck up.
Yeah, I fucked it up. It was a paralyzer. It was a paralyzer that I fucked up, right? Yeah. And so that's the story there. And I was fucking packed, bro. Every Friday, Saturday night, heads. It was a bigger bar, higher ceilings, huge stage, like way twice the size of the bar across the road, right? Way more potential. It was like a nightclub feel. And I packed it. And I literally, as soon as I got there, it was a bit bittersweet. Everybody emptied the bar across the street, and they all came to mine because I created a more energetic atmosphere.
Yeah, and
Right?
success is the best revenge.
100%.
Yeah.
I never said a thing. I just destroyed them financially.
Yeah,
right?
just work quietly in silence and let your work
success
show for
make the
yourself.
noise.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I did that for 5 years, pumped the crap out of it, and I still worked it. Like, the thing is with him, but I always told him, even when you're younger, like, even when I was still trying to be his friend, we're trying to connect. I was trying to connect with him even when I was working the different pub up the road. I'm like, man, you got to be here. You can't just show up at midnight to close the bar. You have to be here all day.
Yeah.
Know who's been drinking all day. Know how much they've had. Make sure you cut them off before it's too late. You have to hold a liquor license like this. It can get taken from you.
Yeah.
Right. Hold it with caution, man. Right.
liquid gold, man.
Liquid gold, man. Right. So, and he just never really listened. And next thing you know, like, anyways, long story short, I still, even though I was the owner, I was also the bartender, the bouncer, the server, everything. I bounced around like 100 miles and I got the energy, right? And it was just packed, and I'd be getting a scrap in the back, and then I'd throw the guy out the back door and I'd come back behind the bar and serve beer. It was just nuts. I was running on clean toilets and get back, go back. You know, it's just nuts. I was going 100 miles an hour, and I had a plan of 5 years. The plan was to literally build it up so big that like I could sell it.
Yep.
Right.
Bootstrap it up.
Yeah, so I literally declared everything, every single thing I made. All the dollars I made, I declared all the pool table money, the jukebox money, the video game money. Declared it all.
Yep.
I declared it all. I'd audited reports, financial, and built that business up so much, and then was able to sell it.
Yeah, because then when someone comes to buy it, you have all that, and they can actually see what
Yeah.
the real income is. Because usually when someone goes to buy a business like that, they see, okay, it's this X dollars, but then there's these X plus Y dollars over here, what you're probably actually making. But if it's all declared, you can come at them and be like, hey, this is what the price is, because these are real numbers.
Yeah, 100%. And it was a very good business, but unfortunately, the business was me. And I'm not going to go tell that to buyers. No. It was me that was why everyone came there, right? Yeah. I was the bar, right? Which is another thing. That's what stopped me, because I'm like, am I going to be a bartender till I'm 60? What else? And that was another moment of like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, if I get rid of this pub, it was I had a nice house in Langley, beautiful home, and over $1 million house. And I was like if I stop doing this, what am I going to do? And I had a plan too. It was in the middle of the last year and a half I was there, I became a mortgage broker, literally on the bar. Like, I had my laptop where the vodka and Sambuca were.
Yeah.
And I would like study for the exam, and I was putting mortgages in the queue, right? While I was like working the bar, and I had my power washing business too at the same time. So I had that going at the end.
3 at the go.
3 at the go.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and that's how I worked, which is a little insane. And my wife would be at the hospital. She'd come and close the bar with me at nighttime, and she'd be doing 20-hour days too, because she'd work her 12-hour shift, then close the bar with me and drive all the way home to Mission. Right, or Langley, or whatever, because we went right back forward to Mission and Langley, had a house in Mission and came back to Langley. But anyways, and I was like, well, in order to actually kind of get ahead and like to cash out, if you will, we have to sell everything and move away. Because to stay here, I'm gonna probably be tempted to go back to the bar business again.
Yeah, that's what you know.
That's what I know.
Yeah,
and mortgages was great, right? And I love obviously real estate got me a big part of where I am today. Right, before I became a professional in any of those fields, right, of real estate. And so I was like, okay, so we sold everything and we moved to Kamloops, right? So I felt like King Tut when I came here, because I got a boatload of money. I cashed out on everything. And I'm like, what the fuck, what am I going to do here? Like, whatever I want, right? I felt like I was in a slow moving town with this, like, and I've got all this energy, I've got vision, I've got capital. So what's going to stop me? So, and obviously I came in flying full bore. I started buying cheap houses and flipping them. I'm not even a contractor or a carpenter, and I'm flipping homes. Yeah. I'm like, there's a house here. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for $160,000. I'm like, fucking, why isn't this selling? Like, this house in Langley, it was like $700,000. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why is no one buying this shit, right? So I started buying all these cheap houses and fixing them and selling them and flipping them, making like $80,000, $75,000, $100,000. I was just like, this is easy. Like, what the hell? Like, well, if I can do it, I'm not even a carpenter. Like, why isn't other people doing this stuff, right? It was a unique time, and that's when we were undervalued extremely. And there was no foreign buyers tax here. It skipped us. So it's like, it was a perfect like soup to succeed, right? If you had drive and you had some capital and money and vision, right? And then I started flipping, like, okay, well, I'm a mortgage guy. I still have my mortgage broker's license. I'm like, in order to you actually get multiple projects at a time, I'll probably need a mortgage. So I'm going to need income, right?
Yep.
And so I need to buy a business. I want to buy an existing business that's already set up, proven income that I can just grow, right? Not start something from scratch, because starting something from scratch is a lot tougher than buying something that's already kind of set up.
For sure.
So I bought a business and spent $175,000 plus another $60,000 on the ice cream side, and invested a lot of my money. The good thing is I didn't have a loan on that because it was all mine, right? And that one I ran to the ground.
There's no Joe fuck up there, eh?
No Joe, it was actually very humbling for me. I called that the first dose of humble soup, because I came here thinking, what's going to stop me, man? Like, I will work 20 hours a day, but that mentality doesn't work in this town. You can't just outwork them, and things shut down. Vancouver, they don't shut down. You can keep going, right? So I have to I can hate this way it is here, or I can evolve, right? And at that time I was like, I just want to still flip houses. I just want to have the business running. I'll have full staff. Even if I make $2,000 a month, that's all I said. Even if I make $2,000, I'm happy. At least I can do the accounts, and with a good accountant, I can show, because it's making money and all this stuff, and I can get mortgages on it, even like 50% loan to value on stuff. At least it's something to be able to grow and spread in the real estate realm. Well, that wasn't the case, man. I was drowning very fast. Because the guy before was Asian. It was a Vietnamese, right? He's a really good guy, but he tried to help me and teach me, but I'm not a restaurant guy, man. I was thinking I'm just going to have burgers and fries and hot dogs. I was going to get rid of the Asian cuisine there, and the pho and the salad rolls but the right side was my ice cream parlor, Pebbles, right? So that's why I thought it'd be two together. I got no extra rent over here, right? So it's all one, and it's cheap. So there's no way I can't succeed. Well, yeah, I got my ass kicked, man. Humble soup. So anyways, I lost all that, and then I did that for 3 years. Basically walked away from it. Took the keys, gave them to, there, you can have it all.
Yeah.
Bye. Now it's time for me to go out there. I then got a private mortgage from a friend that I used to do mortgage, because I used to send deals to. He funded me on the deal. He's like, oh, you got a client for this? I'm like, no, I'm the client. He's like, I found a foreclosure in Westside. I want to flip it. So I flipped it and made good money, man. I'm like, I'm back. I'm back. I made more money that one house in 62 days than I did in 3 years in the restaurant business.
Oh.
Sometimes you are the wrong person, or the right person in the wrong environment. And that was me. So that was like the fucking roller coaster, bro. And it humbled me.
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, I can't just come to this town and think I'm going to kick ass.
Yeah.
I need to literally do my due diligence a little bit more. So at that moment, I realized my passion is real estate. It always has been.
And you brought that up earlier. That's what you took away from your first with the pizza business, is doing your due diligence.
Yeah, I went off excitement.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do this. I can add this. I can add this. I can incorporate these things together, and then you just you manifest it in your brain, and then it comes out to shit.
And I think with you as well, you've always been in a position where the more you work and the harder you work, it's always succeeded, because it's Joe. Joe is succeeding, and the business is doing well because of Joe. But then you were in a position with that business where
nobody knew me.
No one knew you.
And I'm some dude from Vancouver with a crazy Porsche, because that's why I brought my car with me. I had a really expensive Porsche, and then I was like, I remember I pulled up to Timmy's. That was before I bought that business. And was some guy in this big, huge 4x truck said, "I'm going to run your little car over with my truck." I'm thinking to myself, where did I move to? This is a GT2. Don't you understand what this car is? Right? I'm like, you're just gonna run me over? Like, okay, bro, right? And he's just smoking on the tailgate of his truck, and everyone's hanging out there. I'm like, what the hell did I do? I move here, right? Anyways, again, I digress. But and then quickly after, all of a sudden I'm in this business. I had to sell the car, right? And the car's gone. It was a pretty low moment for me, man. Because I wasn't making any money. I didn't want to give up on it, right? This is before I went and flipped. I'm just going back, getting back a little bit. And I'm just like, I'm making zero money here. And I'm having to pay out of my pocket, my savings every month to keep this thing alive. I had a house with no mortgage on it that I just finished flipping while I had that business. But because my income was bad, I couldn't get a fucking mortgage on it. So now I've got this house worth $280,000. I can't take any money out of it. It ain't selling either. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's not selling. I'm freaking out. We keep lowering the price. Now it's down to $230,000, and I'm like, but I know this house is worth $300,000. I know math. I know mortgages, right? And I'm like, but I can't sell it. I literally have no fucking money. I remember selling. I had a PT Cruiser because I sold my truck, which was really nice, so that I could keep the fucking business going, right? But I have a house with no mortgage on it, so I have money, right? And I have lots of equity in my family home, you know? So I'm doing okay financially, but I have nothing liquid. And this is my first time of ever being what they call in the red.
Yeah.
I'd never in my life been in the red. What I mean by that is when you go to your bank account and you see red numbers instead of black, that means you're negative, you're backwards. I had a $2,000 overdraft and I was swimming in it. I had a Visa card that was maxed at 20 grand. And I'm like, how the fuck did I get myself in this position again? Eaton told me to stay away from the food business now I'm proud. I can do it on my own. I didn't converse with him when I bought that place to begin with. I'm like, I got to figure it. I can do it. Now I'm on my own. I can do it on my own. No, I should have. If I conversed with him, he would have told me to step away. I wouldn't have done it. Long story short, I'm in this shit situation now. Here I am, got the PT Cruiser. I'm about to miss a mortgage payment on my house where I've got $600,000 equity in, right? But I don't have money to pay the mortgage payment. So I sold the PT Cruiser. Real story, man. This is in Kamloops here. Sold the PT Cruiser to pay my mortgage payment, and I took my wife's scooter to the donut shop. Yeah, little fucking scooter, 49cc. And they're laughing. I remember the regulars laughing at me. You know, you're gone from Porsches to scooters, eh? I'm like, that's okay. I'll be back. It's fine. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like, I mean, good news. I didn't owe anything on the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was all like, if I did sell it, it was all going to be my money. You know what I mean? But I couldn't sell it. I tried selling it for 20 grand. I bought it for 175 and I put 60 to 70 in the ice cream side, right? Yeah. And now I'm getting nothing. Like my sales on the ice cream side were like $60 a day. How do you pay staff, man? And the food, because I was jaded, when someone looked at the menu, when they came in there, when I'm behind the fucking till, and this was coffee on the left side, food on the right side. When they looked over to the right, I was like, oh, now I got to make food. I don't want to make food, but that's where the money is. Yeah. But I didn't want to make it. I was annoyed. I'm like, oh God. So I'm jaded. You all know what I'm talking to today. When you get jaded, and you're done. And you just wish that could just end. The pain could end. But anyway, so that happened. And now I'm sitting here going like, how did I go from coming here and so long story short, I kept trying to get the mortgage on that house because I wasn't going to just give it away for 100 grand. Yeah. Right. The house is worth 300. Long story short, I got an exemption through my bank. That's why I'm a diehard TD guy. TD came to bat for me, my mortgage guy at the time, because obviously, I need someone a little bit better than me to arrange said financing, right? And he went to bat for me, did an exemption through his underwriter or whatever, his boss, and they gave me a mortgage on that house on 80% loan to value of the appraisal, which came at 300. So I got a $240,000 check back. Now I'm back. I got my money back, man. I'm good, right? So I took the keys, walked away from that, and that took a little bit to process, and I ended up paying that mortgage for that flip house back and stuff with the mortgage money. But I walked away from the business, got my capital of that house, and I still have that house today. I only owe like 90 grand on that house, and it's worth like 500,000, right? Wow. So like I will never sell that house because that house got me back. So it's not for sale. So I still rent it, and it's right the next street from my house I live now. Okay. So now I have my house on Royal. I don't know if you've been there or not. It's beautiful. It's
kind of like building up for buying the car. Yeah. That house is more than just a house for you. It's a pivotal turning point in your life.
Because that extracted that money out to be able to then grow. Because money's only a tool. What you do with it is so important. So if you have your tools, are you going to waste the tool, or are you going to put the tool to work? Yeah. So that was a very humbling moment for me, and I remember even going back a little bit more, I took the scooter and I was driving home and it ran out of gas, and I was about a block away from Hasty Market. Yeah. And my cards were all, at the time, this is before I got settled, they were all maxed. I literally pushed the scooter, no big deal, to Hasty Market. Every fucking card in my wallet declined to get gas for $2. I had to call Angus down, right, to help me. And he laughed. Yeah. I was, what the fuck is going on here? I can't even put $2 in my scooter for fuel? Like, obviously because they were all maxed out. That's why, right? But I'm waiting. But at that time, I was just waiting for it to hopefully come through with my house. I've got $250,000 there, right? I just need to take out. And like there was offers of 150 on the house. I'm like, that's what I paid for it.
Yeah.
Like I just renovated it for 64,000. I'm not selling it for what I paid for. You know what I mean?
And a loss.
And a loss. Like no, I believe in real estate. It's going to be worth more later. I got to hold on to it. And it was the first time ever having creditors call me and being like, hey, you haven't made a payment on your Visa card. I'm like, it's coming. I've got to. And I would fight with the guy on the phone. I'm like, I have a house with $250,000 in it. It's worth it. I have no mortgage on it. I'm just like, if you guys could freaking give me a mortgage. I'm like, this is a TD Visa card, right? And it's a TD. I'm trying to get a TD mortgage here, right? And I'm like, man, I've been with you guys since I was 22 years old. So it just shows you, like, you're never always doing this. You're doing this and doing this. Your goal is to do this. Right? But you're never not going to fall. Like, as much as you think how good you are or how good your business, like, this is life, man. Life slaps you in the face. But it builds character and it sharpens iron.
I love that.
Right? Yeah. And it was like, it was a crazy moment that I just like, Joe, your skill set and your love is real estate. Just stick to that, right? Be steadfast. Don't jump now anymore. You're old enough now to not jump off of emotion. Don't get into a business. There's a couple times I almost caught myself a couple times, but now I've learned, right? Don't get in that, Joe, just because that sounds cool. Slow down. Slow down. Ask questions, do some due diligence, and you'll get your answers. And I always did. 3 or 4 times after that, I almost went back down a different road, but something that could have been the same outcome of that, right? So I decided, no, just stick to what I'm good at. Yeah, and do that stuff, right?
Sounds like you now have the experience to give back in a way that Eaton did for you. Are you mentoring anyone or putting any? I mean, I know a lot of your content kind of goes down that path, but are you doing anything bigger than that?
I've always opened myself up to like anyone who needs help or advice. I'm there, you know, because like obviously Eaton helped me and for free. And he's never, you know what I mean? Like he has a book called Activate Your Power. And it was actually in chapters because it's funny. I go to chapters and there it is like, this is the guy's door I knocked on. Yeah. Like quantum physics 101 here. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. So, that book is literally where my brain's at. So if anyone wants to know how I think or that book.
Activate Your Power.
Activate Your Power by Eaton Sharir.
I'll put that in the show notes. Make sure people can find that one.
Yeah. It's that book changed my life. He changed my life, and right. But obviously, I've had a couple step backs, and obviously along the roads.
Everyone has those.
But you get confident, and that's the thing is you always got to be self-aware and and be like, is this out of ego and pride where I'm going now, or do I need to humble myself and still do the same shit I did before and do the proper due diligence and not just say, I've got to figure it out now, because that's what was me. I've got to figure it out, right? I had digits in my bank account I've never had before when I came here, right? And I'm like, I have like 50 years of life that I can literally do nothing if I want. I can literally rent and just not work for the next 55 years.
But that's not you.
That's not me.
That's not you.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. That comfortable was almost a curse.
Yep.
So it's like I had to lose it, right? I had other like investments put away on this that I could not take out anyway. So that was the thing. Like I had a house and I had other investments, quite substantial, but I had locked in for a long time.
Nothing's liquid.
Nothing's liquid. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. And they wouldn't, because of my income, they wouldn't let me borrow. Right? Because I was losing money every month. They're like, I'm a risk, right? Unless I literally sold my properties, right?
The hard part about being a business owner.
Yeah,
right?
you learn that. Like, I'm like, well, man, my net worth is this. They don't care. They don't care. And I'm like, I'm not willing to give up the asset because then you got to pay tax on that asset. See, when I put that mortgage on that house, that was tax-free money.
Yeah.
I got $240 out tax-free. That's more. I would have yielded more that way than I did if I sold it. Right? Yeah. And then lose the asset. Now that thing's been paying itself off, almost paid off completely, and I still own it. Right? So that opened up my eyes, and so I just started doing that, and I started basically doing the BRRRR system: buy, renovate, refinance, rent. Yeah. And that's why I have so many properties.
Yeah. Is it quite a bit harder for a younger person now to do that system? I know because I know
the numbers have to work. They still are out there today. They're very hard to find, but you can find them. They're out there, right?
I know the bank's much stricter with your debt to equity ratio and making sure that you can make the payments on it. And it doesn't matter what investments you have, they just want to see your net coming in each month that you can service.
100%. You want to see that you service that debt. Absolutely. Yeah. But but that's going out there and trying and talking to someone who's done that before. And I've helped a lot of people do that. Even in my real estate career as a realtor, I've helped my clients. I'm the one telling my clients not to buy the expensive house. buy that house for 450, 575. That's worth 700 ARV after renovation value, where you can take a line of credit on it. Like sometimes in some cases, if you buy the right property, even if it's like not even needed reno and you buy it for cheap, you literally get a mortgage on it immediately after. Your banker still has all your financial information. They can immediately put a line of credit on it after if there's that much equity in it.
Yeah.
So you could buy the house, put your money down, and there's still whatever. And if you have TD, a lot of them do 80% LTV, loan to value. You can pull out a line of credit right away and get a lot of your money back and use that as a tool to go buy another one or and do a business or do something, right? Some places like CIBC that do 65 LTV on certain scenarios, right? And it's just like you got to go into the right place that's helping you grow. Like where do you want to invest your time, your energy, your assets into place that can help you grow, right? Because if you are again the right person in the wrong area, then you're not going to grow, right?
Yeah.
So
I know I saw on your story or a post the other day, a bit of a contest for was it a book cover. What's going on with that?
yeah, I'm going to write a book.
All right.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it all. It's almost done, I think.
Cool.
So
story of your life and
yeah, I have a ghostwriter I'm working with, and she interviews me for hours and hours and hours, asks me questions, and I'm just spilling straight things out because my goal with that is to hopefully help somebody.
Yeah.
If it helps one person, all the money I put into that book was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for it? And you might not be able to say it
Yeah, I
yet?
can say it.
Okay.
That's again, it's my story of the Ferrari. So it's the relentless pursuit of the prancing horse.
So you said that earlier, and I'm in my head. I'm like, I bet because I knew what the book. I'm like, if that's not the title of the book, I'm going to tell him. But like you said that, and I was like, that's got to be the name of the fucking book.
Because that was literally my story. It was the relentless pursuit of it. Like, you know, how many out there watching this right now loved, you know, the Lamborghini Countach, the Ferrari Testarossa, and they had posters. You'd see that, and like you'd see commercials or car shows, and be like, or TV shows or whatever with those cars, and it's like, and I would hear my friends when I was younger go like, oh, if I ever win the lottery, that's the first thing I'm going to buy. And I'm like, lottery? Why don't you just go work and make it? Make it an option. No, don't wish and pray for it because you're not even going to appreciate it that much.
No.
If you work for it, you will appreciate it.
Yeah.
When I go into my garage every once in a while, I just smile. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, these are tangible pieces of artwork.
Yeah.
And that's what they are to me. They're not, oh, I'm faster, or this is better. No, it's not. It doesn't benefit anyone other than me, right? This is not for other people. I like it for kids. Like every car show or every meetup, I love opening them the doors and seeing the kids smile because that remind me of me, man.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I filled my trunk of my Maserati MC20 with toy cars and I like just free Hot Wheels. And how do you know that you don't know what that kid's going through at home, or maybe he's like at an age where he's maybe been pursued to like try to drink or smoke or something like that. Like, how do I know that car may not get him off of that track and onto the right track? Because it's I
think I've been to like every Hot Night in the City since I moved here, like 15 or 16 of them. And your cars are the only ones that I've ever seen anyone
doors open?
or even let anyone touch them. You get too close to some of the other ones and you're leaning in and people are like, hey, you're getting too close. And it's like,
but yeah,
these
mine
things
are worth
supposed to
more
be,
money than all of theirs.
Yeah. But these are supposed to be appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're supposed to be driven.
Imagine your son or whatever playing Forza. And like he designed his like Ferrari and it's like his to the spec he wants, and he worked so hard to get all the points and the add-ons to make it to what it was, and then he sees one in real life.
Yeah.
And the owner goes, "Don't touch the car. Don't go near it." I'm like, "Here is wide open. Enjoy." I'll even if I'm allowed to let you even turn it on and rev it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care. We're not taking this shit with us. If it inspires the youth, inspires to like me, it did for me, like that Ferrari 308, but it did for me. I'm so thankful for it. Because I don't know, who knows where I'd be if it wasn't for cars.
Exactly.
Cars are the only thing that motivated me as a kid. I wanted one. I knew all the brands and the models when I was younger. I knew what kind of car that was, how fast it was, and like the stats, whatever I could find out with whatever magazine that I would buy for $3 at 7-Eleven. Right? I studied that stuff, man. I'm a numbers guy, right? And I just loved it. And I was just like, I don't want to be the kid that's a dreamer. I want to accomplish this, man. And the way I look at it now is if I can do it, so can you. Well, I'm not no more special than the average person. Everyone's the same. We all have the same amount of time, right? If you have habits, cut that shit out. If you're a drinker, cut that out. If you're a smoker, cut that out. If you're a vapor, cut it out. You're just stopping yourself from accomplishing your goals. What the fuck are you doing? Get your shit together, right? That's all you got to do is do that, and you're halfway there.
Yeah, addition through subtraction.
100%, man, right? And you say, instead of working 8, work 10, work 12, find another job, find something. You'll get there. It's literally a matter of time.
Yeah.
Right. But how bad do you want it? Some people just, and I get it. Not everyone is that driven, or not that one is that inspired to get things, do what they want. Maybe they're depressed, but I think it's through that monotonous self-talk and all that stuff that makes you depressed. Go to the gym. Get up and go to the gym, and you do that, or you go and get a couple of jobs. Are you going to still be depressed? No, you're not. You're going to be uplifted and inspired. You are your atmosphere. Yeah, right. And you are who you hang out with.
You stay busy. I know. I have to go to the gym every single day, and any day I don't go to the gym. So I threw my back out on Sunday, and I didn't get to go to the gym the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And my productivity's down, my mood is down, and then. Luckily, got him from a massage yesterday. Shout out to Aaron for fixing me up. And at Stratera, that's what it's called. I always fuck up the name. But anyways, shout out to her. So she fixed me up. And then this morning, I'm like 50% better, but I'm up at 4 and I'm in the gym and I'm doing what I can. Even though I did maybe a quarter of what I usually do, my whole day was just that much better, man, because that's my quote unquote my church. Like I get that in the morning. It's the hardest thing I'm going to do today. Some physical activity. The heart's pumping. The endorphins are going. I haven't eaten because I never eat in the morning until then, and I just feel good, man. I start my day off feeling good.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing could happen, and if I hadn't worked out, it's going to hit me even worse. But because I worked out, I'm just like
you're more likely to snap.
Yeah.
Snap at somebody. Snap back at someone because you're 100%.
Not in. It just puts me in the right frame of mind. Just to do my day and just enjoy my day, because could get hit by a bus walking out the door. I don't know what's going to happen. So I hit that gym, and that's the part of my morning routine. And just go out there and fucking crush the day.
Yeah, I've got to get out. I've got to do it a bit more, considering I own the place. I'm like 2 blocks away from my own gym, and I don't go as much as I should.
Well, I mean, you haven't eaten the last 9 days, so give you a little bit of pass on
Once
that.
Once I eat, I'm going to be back on. I just don't think it's smart to. Because once I go in there, I'm like, I'm going to put my gloves on.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll hit the heavy bag. And it's just like, I don't think it's smart to do that on like no food, body food.
Oh, no, for sure.
Right.
I got something for you, maybe a little bit of motivation.
Okay.
So, Jake Young with Fuel?
Yeah.
So Jake was on before, and we have a little bet going. Ours goes until September 1st. So if you want to join this, you could go either till September, or you and I could just do it together till maybe the end of September, October. But it's where you are now, and then picture now, and then a picture in 2 or 3 months. And whoever makes the biggest physical transformation during that time, it's not about weight, it's just how much better you look at the end of it. It's just $100, but it goes towards the other person's charity of choice.
Oh, wow.
If you want to jump in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, it's just one selfie on day one, and then a selfie on
I almost feel like it's not, because I looked a lot differently 9 days ago. I was bloated, man.
Caught you too late.
You caught me too late.
But it's just a little bit of extra push. I mean, it's going to a charity, and it's just, I know I find with myself, I am very self-motivating, but when there's a little bit of external motivation, and then it's a little bit of an ego thing too, like I want to beat Jake and Jake wants to beat me.
The ego can be played in the right, if it played rightly, it can be very advantageous, right? It's not all about like, look at me, it's just, but that ego can it can fire you up a little bit and keep you more productive.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to win. That's what it comes down to. It's not so much.
Because not only that, you're actually doing the other guy a service.
Yeah.
Because you're like, fucking beat me, man.
Yeah.
I can't let that guy beat me.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? I'm better than that guy. You know what I mean?
I sent him a text. I'm like, hey dude, like obviously like right after like a chest buys day, I'm like, take my shirt off. I'm like, dude, I'm pumped up. And he's like, oh fuck. He's like, I gotta go harder. So he picks himself up. And especially with, I'm super busy, he's super busy, a guy like you super busy. Just that little bit of an extra push, I find, like a friendly kind of reminder.
I used to do that with Steve Dunlop, a good buddy of mine here, right? And we do push-up challenge, right? And we did that whole thing, like 3 months, who can look better?
Yeah.
And 10,000 push-ups or whatever in 3 months or whatever. I think it was 3 months, 10,000 push-ups or something, 15,000 push-ups. And I'd always be like, and I'm like literally taking a picture of me doing push-ups or whatever, and he's like sleeping. Okay, you're sleeping, and I'm doing push-ups, bro. And then I wake up extra early, and I'm like, you're probably still sleeping, and I'm doing push-ups. And he's like, oh man, son of a bitch. And I'm just like, and then we took a picture of us, like saying who looked better, right? And he admitted, like, yeah, you look better, Joe. I'm like,
there you go.
So I'm like, he's not used to losing. He's a ultra athlete, and he was an all-pro football player at Westside.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
I think he scored 8 touchdowns in one game once. He's a fucking phenom, man. He's a tough mother effer too, right? But yeah, so
I think what time out for a second. Someone stand outside the door there? I swear someone was just coming in the door. There's a shadow. That's okay. We can edit that out.
I.
I thought I heard a knock at the door.
So what
Maybe it was wrong.
question? Do you have any questions for me? Or you like how we went off on other stuff? But
No, it's the whole thing is just wherever it goes, man. And we got deep into your childhood and motivation. And I mean, I knew you a little bit, seen you at the gym, and I've watched a lot of your content, and you're so much deeper. Like it's
than you thought, or
well, just from what I've seen. Like
Oh.
I'm thinking back some of the stories and things that you've said now, and now that I have more depth on it, there's so much more weight behind those. Like your drive and why and how you're so successful is because you put the fucking work in. And then some of your things, like your one was about talking about giving up like vaping, and you think it's stupid and stuff like that. And if a random person might see that and not know the angle is like those things are subtracting from like there's no additions to it. But
You're
now that
100% correct.
I've heard this whole story about, you know, building that bar up, and then you go back to it, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you," and you're like, "Oh man!" So then you got to build yourself up back again. So like, you can see this. I'm getting goosebumps talking about like I
am too, man.
Yeah, I really feel like and this happens with a lot of guests. Like I don't know them that well, but by the end of it, it's like two buddies just catching up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I do have a question, and it's we're coming to kind of do a natural close here.
Yeah.
And I like to ask the guests this. So imagine we've got a little portal here that opens up, and through that portal, you're looking back, and there's young Joe, and you've just had the car knocked out of your hand. If this was happening right now, what would you say to your past self?
Just don't give up. Right? Yeah. Use that as fire. I call it the flame under the ass. Mm-hmm. Use it as fire. Whatever that is for you, that was a moment for me. Everyone has a moment for them. Mm-hmm. That's something that happened, something that knocked them down, something that pushed them down. Use that, keep it deep inside, and just smile and just keep going, man. Yeah. Put in the work, and then results will happen.
That's beautiful, and I love that because that's an honest answer. And I know it's an honest answer because a lot of the guests, they give a similar one, and it comes from people that know that the struggles they've gone through are the reason they're at where they're at today. Yeah. If you hadn't have gone through hard things, like they say, if you wanted to build a person who was disciplined, who was resilient, who could deal with struggle, who could be successful, would you give them the things they need? No, you'd put them through hardship so they can build those skills. Yeah. So you're at where you're at now because of all those.
I'm
you're going up
for it,
and then you're down, and then
I'm thankful for it. Though, like I said, the only thing I would have loved it would be more of a loving family upbringing. Would have been nice to have my dad around and my mom out in all that stuff and not in that crap. But the same token, all I know is how I can be for my daughter now and what I need to do there, and I just. That's all I can bring from that is like I just don't want to be that dad that is not there, is not present, and doesn't care, and all he cares about is work. So I am always making time now for my family. I lost him and I got him back again. Yeah, very thankful for it.
Yeah, there's the classic story of a villain and a hero. They have the same origin. The villain gets hurt and he wants to hurt the world. The hero gets hurt and he wants to help the world. Yeah. So it's all about. When you have those pitfalls and you have those struggles, you can't change what happens to you. All you can do is how you react to it, what you take from it.
I've always used this analogy, like there's two wolves, which one are you going to feed? Right?
Yeah. Awesome.
They're both polar opposite. So.
Yeah. That would lead us into my final question for you. Same portal opens up, but instead there's Joe in 20 years. If you could ask him a question, what would be the one question that you ask future Joe?
20 years from now.
20 years from now.
How many lives did you impact in a positive way?
Wow.
I believe a high tide rises all ships, and we need to help each other.
I couldn't have said it better.
We can all win.
Yeah. I love that. I've got a friend who's incredibly successful, super big into stocks, very smart, did all his due diligence. And when I was starting to have some of my own success, he's way more successful than me. And I was just chatting with him, and for what I was bringing in, it was very small compared to what he brings in. I mean, I was probably making in a year what he was making in a month, but he was just so happy for me. And I was like, hey, dude, it feels so good to tell someone about this and for them to be positive. Because a lot of people, you tell things and then they're not happy for you. Yeah. Like they're silently, they're like, oh yeah, that's great. But deep down, they're not happy because they want to succeed themselves. But he was generally happy. And I was on the phone with him and he says, hey man, there's so much success to go around. You have to celebrate it with people when they have it. And then he brought up what you had just said, that a high tide raises all ships. He's like, what you're doing is going to help other people, float with the tide as well. Keep going at it. And that's always stuck with me.
Yeah,
it's deep.
It's powerful stuff, man. And like a lot of people don't implement that, or maybe they don't see that. And I understand what's scarcity mentality. It's like, oh, I better have for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that's I always call it as an abundant mentality. You got to have an abundant mentality, right? Don't look at just now. Look at the future. Like build your network, and you build your net worth.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought that up. I jotted this down earlier about scarcity. Mm-hmm. And how you're a provider and you want to, give to your family, give to your daughter, make sure they have everything. Do you think being that such a proud provider comes from your childhood and having that scarcity? You don't want them to have that scarcity mindset. You want to.
Well, it was really tough because when I was young, when I was 7, 8, my sister was 3, 4 years old, and she was starving, and she would cry to me and be like, I'm hungry, and there's no food in the fridge. So like at that age, and my mom's doing whatever she's doing, there's no food in the fridge. It's like, what do you do? I'm sorry, or do I go get it? Mm-hmm. So I would go and knock on doors in the neighborhood and beg for food, or could just go steal it, right? And
gotta eat.
Yeah, and I would just go get it, and I was fast. So I'd go in there, they'd see me, and when I was younger, and I'd just run. They can't catch me. God gave me speed, baby. I was like, out the door I go, right? It's just, right? And it's just, now we're eating, right? Now we're eating something. It's just like, but I don't want to I can't continue to do that. So I've got to pivot here and figure something that can work. And that's kind of when I started getting into the mowing. Before that, I was just taking the food. Or there'd be like a food day at the school where they give you free, I remember a couple stories too. Remember McDonald's when they had all-you-can-eat pizza Tuesday for $1.99?
No, I do remember when they had the pizzas, but I don't remember
there was a day that was all you can eat. So I remember going with my sister. I'd walk with her because then we could get twice as much.
Yeah,
okay? She was 5 and I was 9. It was on the North Shore. That's that McDonald's that's still there. We'd go there with a big Ziploc bag, and I keep it in my pocket. And I remember sitting there like it was yesterday, man. We're sitting there. We're all like, oh, yeah, they give us one piece at a time, right? And I'm like, I think we can get 2 at a time. And like, oh, yeah, they gave us 2 at a time. So then I'd take one from her, one from there, and I'd stick it in the Ziploc bag. Yeah. And then we just kept doing that. I was full, man, because I'm eating for I'm not going to eat again for a week.
Yeah.
Bloated, but... Fuck, man, I had a fucking Ziploc bag with rolled up pizza like this. And then we got caught once. We got caught, and it was pretty embarrassing. I remember, those guys are stealing. They're putting the pizza in the thing. I'm not stealing. I'm due for, it's all you can eat, right? Paid $1.99 each, $4, and we got to eat all you can eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember taking it home in a big ball, and my mom would be like, score, score. We'd put it on the table and fold out all the pizza slices. We got to eat for a week, and it was just full of pizza, man. Yeah.
Got to survive, right?
Do what you got to do. You got to do it, yeah. Same thing with, I remember Bonanza. I used to be on the South Shore when we were in a place up in Sahali, a place called Bonanza. It was an all-you-can-eat place, and we'd steal from there, too. We'd be fill up an entire bag, like a plastic Safeway bag, or overweighty, because it was overweighty. I'd go to overweighty's, grab the bag, put it in my pocket, and go there, and whatever, I just half for me, half for the fucking bag.
Yeah.
But sweet, got home, and it was like chicken and ribs, and we had some food, man. It was cool, right?
Yeah. With coming from that scarcity mindset, with how successful you are now, and you've worked very hard for it, I commend you for that. Do you think there will be a point when enough is enough ever enough? I know for myself, I'll retire from one job or business, and I'll just get into another one. I know for me, enough will never be enough. That's just kind of how I'm wired. How about for yourself?
It's funny. like I'm so used to being in that scarcity mindset place. And I'm also thankful for what I'm about to say, and also I resent it. I always put myself in a position of fear. Like I'll buy something and I'll do something because then I feel alive, right? But it inspires me again and it gets me fired up. But I'm like, I don't need to go do that, right? I don't need to go spend $250,000 on this thing, $300 because but I do that on purpose. But that's also helped me and it's also hurt me, right? I am where I am because I've had that mentality and mindset. But at the same time, can't I just enjoy where I'm at? But this is who I've been my whole life. To completely change my mindset and not do any of that anymore, I don't know, right? I think I don't like to feel comfortable. As soon as I have a lump sum of money, I go buy an asset, right? And then I'm like, oh, gotta go back to work, or I'll buy a car. I gotta go back. It's just, I don't have to, but it's like I do that on purpose. But like materialistically wise though, like I was telling, like I said, my brother, I have everything I want. I don't need more stuff. I like the excitement of it. Like I'll use an example of the last car purchase. I had an Audi R8. I had a Porsche GT3, beautiful purple Porsche. Sold it to Hunter Lawrence, one of the number one motocross riders in the world, reached out to me and bought the car for me. Okay. It was pretty cool.
I remember the purple one.
He's number 2 next to his brother Jet in like the best motocross riders in the world. Wow. Right. Okay. So he bought the car and he's 24 years old or whatever he is, 25, I can't remember, but he makes a lot of money. Yeah. Right. Clearly. Right. He just paid cash for the car and just bought it off me. Big dollars. And then I was like, oh, okay, and this is the thing. This is the whole wave. I'm like, okay, I don't need to buy another car for like $300,000. I can like buy one for like under $100. So I bought the Audi R8, right? Bought it, cool car, and I wrapped it red. I don't know if you remember seeing that car.
Yeah, I do.
And I'm like, this car's boring. Boring. I'd rather not have it at all. Like I went from that to this. I'm just weird, but I'm like, I'm a car guy, and I'm like, this is my emotions, and I'm like, I'm just driving it because that's what I have, and I'm always looking for something different. And then my buddy Mike Hall from August Luxury calls me, he goes, texts me, he goes, sends me a picture. I'm like, I'll be there tomorrow morning. And I felt alive. I felt inspired and invigorated. I'm like, oh, I couldn't wait, man. I'm watching YouTube videos on the car on how the whole thing works. I'm all pumped up and fired up. And I'm like, doing research on prices and things and all these different things. And I'm like, I'm driving that car home tomorrow.
What was that car?
It was a Maserati MC20, right? And it was just how it was presented when I walked in the showroom, and it's just like the freaking doors are up in the air, like Batman car. It's just sick, man. And I'm like, I'm trying. And then one guy was like talking to Mike when I was walking by. He's like, "Is that the new MC20? Is that the MC20?" I'm like, "It's sold." And I walk right by him, and Mike's like shaking his head. "That's Joe. He's here to get the car. I've already promised it to him." And he's like, and I didn't even care about the Audi. It's like I didn't even care. It's like, here it is. It's dirty, whatever. It's full of gas, so you're good. But I'm just like, just out with the old and in with like getting me excited again. Yeah. And I love how that made me feel alive for a while. Like that whole, like from here to like all of a sudden, maybe I am an adrenaline junkie, right? And that's why I'm glad I've never done drugs or never been, you know what I mean, done any substance, because like I would probably be not here today. So I take that energy and funnel it to that, and I just felt alive. And it's just like, but then there's times I'm like, oh man, like there's so much more I could do with the money on this car. Like, this is expensive. Like, I could put this money to work and make more. But I'm like, no, you got to enjoy it. So I'm always in constant conflict in my mind. Always. Well, I always, like, change shit. I don't ever hold anything for... I mean, obviously, the Ferrari is important to me, so I'm never selling that. My Mustang is my very first car, and I'm never selling. I've had it for 30 years, right? So I'm never selling that car. Sentimental value with my aunt and uncle who helped me take me out of foster care and raise me through high school. And they're no longer here anymore, but they help me, right? So there's a lot of sentimental things that I hold tight and I don't get rid of. Things are not for sale. Like my Mustang's not for sale. Yeah. You could offer me $250,000, I'll tell you to. Yeah.
You can swear on here. That's okay.
Fuck off. Not for sale. Yeah. You can fuck off, right? Yeah. So I don't care. I don't need it. I think cars and like they make me feel alive. I don't know what it is. Like it gets me out of a rut but that's also can be a bad thing too, because I'm always searching for them every day.
You all out there know who watching this who like cars are on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I live on that, man, looking for all sorts of brands. I'm like, oh, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even have to be better. I'm like, I'm looking at like 240s and I'm like looking at old school stuff and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Or Lincoln Continentals, suicide doors. That's sick, right? I just want something different, right? And I think it really invigorates me. And I don't know if I'll ever get out of that.
Yeah. Do you, I know when you buy these big purchases in these cars, do you feel more alive or operate better when you have less money in the bank, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Because as soon as I have abundant amount in there, I literally, it's like I lose my like
Your drive a bit?
Yeah, a little
You're
bit.
comfortable?
Yeah, I don't like being comfortable.
I'm the exact same way.
I don't like being comfortable. Like, what does X amount of money in your bank do for you? Nothing. It's actually not even passing inflation, right? It's worth more. It's worth less next year sitting there than it is putting it to work. I believe you got to put it to work, and that can go in many different directions, not just necessarily real estate, but can do other avenues like money out there and putting it to the world. Like, I don't know, like as much as we're talking about cars, I don't know how many connections and people I've met because of the car world. And that's translated to said real estate and deals and things, right? And it opens up the door for conversation. If I just drove a Prius, no one would care.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like as fun as this. I Dan Martell says, it's the McLaren mindset.
Yeah.
Right? He says his business, like whatever X'd ever since he just said, you know what, fuck it. Right? I'm buying these cars whether people like it or not. Because I was like his mentality a little bit too. I still did it anyways, but I still had it in my mind where I was like, what are people going to say when they see me in this thing? They already judge me and they always think I'm this. I don't know how many times I've been stereotyped as someone that I'm completely not.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that, like, you don't even know me, but you think I'm this random, like, gangster or something. Like, weird, man. Like, how would you even think that?
Like
right?
an Alberta douchebag or something
Yeah,
like that?
whatever. Like, okay. So I just play into it. I'm like, oh yeah. Like, one guy in town was saying that I live with my mom. That's why I have all what I have, because I live for free with my mom. I'm like,
How little does he know, eh?
nothing.
Wow.
But just shows you how, like, the yap, right? And I like play into it. I saw the guy actually in a different one of his businesses. I was getting something from there, and I was like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, new car now. I had to buy a Porsche 992. This was a couple of years ago. And I said, yeah, I said, my mom gave me a raise in my, and I was just joking. I don't think he knew that I knew, but I'm just like, yeah, my mom gave me extra allowance, so I was able to afford it. I'm like, it's so awesome. And I'm like, and I just kind of punched his shoulder, right? Like, kind of a subtle, like, fuck you. I know it was him that said that, right? But yeah, so like, you just play more into it, right? Instead of like, try to deny and defend, right? Just like,
I've got a question that I've wanted to actually ask you for years. So you've got branding and advertising all over town on the park benches, and there's Joe Doyle, and you're there, and you've got a big grin on your face. And then one day there was mustaches on all of them. Was that you, or did someone just start doing that?
Daniel amplified. Remember Daniel when he used to have his mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he prints them out for me. And he puts them on all. He's like, if someone's going to put a mustache on, let's make it perfect. So he got them professionally cut up, and he puts them on every year near November.
Okay, because I saw that, and at first I thought someone had like drawn it on, and then I looked at it closer. I'm like, there's an actual mustache on there. I'm like, is someone going around to try and fuck with Joe? Because if they are, I think it's helping his business.
Yeah.
Because I drive past those signs all the time. And once you drive past a sign so many times, it's just there. It's just there, right?
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden something's different, and I was like, oh, my Joe's got a mustache.
I embrace when people mock my face up. I think it's funny. People will call me, Joe, are you upset? This guy just totally decimated your thing. I'm like, that's awesome. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, because now people are going to look at it now. We probably used to looking at it. Now it's something better to look at and funny, and let's have a conversation, right? And they go, oh, look, and then I'll sometimes go by and I'll sit by and I'll take a picture. I'm like, I think I look better than this guy. And like there's been times I walk by my one off because I live on Royal, and I walked by the Canco there, and it was like midnight. It was a funny story, bro. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I don't know. Sometimes I go to bed late, and this was before I got back with my fam, so I wasn't really like sleeping a lot, and I would just stay up late at night because no one else home. And I'd go I sat down by my bench, and this lady came by. She's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? I see that the bus passed you. Do you need some money? Like, for the bus, are you okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm okay. I said, I'm just having a conversation with this guy beside me. She's like, oh. When she looks over, and I'm like, yeah. I said, that's me. I'm Joe. She's like, oh, so I guess you don't need money for the bus. I said, no, I'm okay. I'm having a conversation. I'm losing the argument. Shit.
Joe always wins.
She's like kind of shaking her head a little bit and walking away. I just play into it. I love it. I think you gotta laugh. Life is short, and you can't be too serious. You got to make fun of things, and you got to make fun of yourself. And I love to make fun of myself. I actually have a little video I want to do with Ty, and everyone in the real estate world, right, is like, I'm on here. I'm on I'm gonna say York. I'm just gonna say because it's not an actual name of a business. Yorkshire Real Estate Group. Right? Everyone's dressed up to the nines. Their chins are up in the air. They're suited to the tie. I'm going to be in my fucking scooter, man. And I get tired of it. I'm going to have a sold sign in this hand, my baseball cap here, a lockbox on this one. And I'm going to pull up. I'm going to be like, Joe Doyle Real Estate Group. And I'm like, neat with the scooter. And I'm like, put the sold sign in there. And I'm like, wheelie. I just love to make fun of myself. I think it's fun. I don't care what anyone thinks. And I'm actually changing all my bus bench pictures eventually. And I'm going to have me with my fucking... I have been wearing black and or white hats since I was 10 years old.
I was going to say, I think...
Never a logo, never nothing. I do have hair, right? But I love white and black ball caps.
I don't think I've ever seen you not wear one except for on that bench.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's not me. That's me pretending to be someone I'm not. So when I look at that, that's not authentic me. So I'm actually thinking about putting a picture with my ball cap on and a hoodie, Heavy Metal Gym, and Not Your Average Joe's Car Wash. So multi-advertising on one picture. And I'm sure I'm allowed to do that as long as I put the real estate company's address and everything on there like I'm supposed to. This is me. That's who I am. So how many realtors do you see with a ball cap on pictures? Have you ever seen any?
No, everyone's kind of prissed and preened.
Everyone prissed and preened. I don't care. I'm going to be my authentic self. And but I have so many. I think I got 45 of them or something. I think they charge you $300 to change the picture. So that's going to be an expensive day.
It's an older picture now, though, isn't it?
It's 9 years old.
I mean, you've changed probably a lot in the last 9 years.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, I adjusted it a little bit, bright my face a little bit better because we have to Photoshop or photo edit or whatever like that, right? But don't think I've changed too much from then. But I mean, I am obviously almost 10 years older than that. And I should change the picture to be. And when I look at them like that, I don't not wear a hat, so that's really not me. And it's funny that I think that every time I drive by, that's me, but that's not me. I'm a hat guy.
Got to be your authentic self. I have a kind of a similar story. For work, I used to wear dress pants and collared shirts and buttoned up, and I was in dress shoes, and I fucking hated it.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
And then two things happened. First, I had this really nice pair of boots, and they were probably $400, and they fell apart after 3 months. And at the same time, I was watching the Uber TV show, how Uber came about.
Okay.
And I don't remember what his name is, but the guy is Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing the character, and he's dressed up kind of nice, but he's walking around in these bright red Chuck Taylors. And I was like, you know what? I don't fucking like these shoes. They hurt my feet. I like to wear full color t-shirts, a black, a white, a blue t-shirt. I like to wear shorts, and I'm going to go buy a fucking pair of Air Jordans. And I made that switch and
never went back.
Never went back, man. I mean, I'm not wearing, neither of us are wearing shoes right now, but but I got a pair of Air Force Ones out there, and it's people are like, why do you have so many shoes? I'm like, don't really buy anything else. And when I was a kid growing up, I've had size 14 feet since I was 13 years old.
Holy shit!
So we could, I was lucky. I had a loving home, and they could afford shoes. My parents could, but I would go into the store. What did you have? Whatever was the size, that's what I had. And then now that I'm an adult,
you can buy whatever you want.
I can buy those shoes. And you know what? That's, I'm not a materialistic person and yada, yada, all that shit. But a couple pairs of shoes, man, that's what kind of makes
how do
me
you
happy.
feel? I love shoes too. Yeah. My biggest thing before, but it's funny how you talk about the comfortability, DC shoes.
Yeah.
I loved pure white, brand new, fresh laces, brand new socks. There's nothing like putting in feels so good. But then after a while, your feet hurt on the DCs because they're skate shoes.
Yeah, the Jordans and stuff, they're not designed to be walked around a lot. So I do sit a lot at work, so that's okay. But I just, it's almost like a piece of armor. You know what I mean? If you think you look good and then you feel good, then you're going to feel good in here. And then that's going to portray to everyone else. And you're, you know,
your demeanor changes and your
exactly.
attitude changes and everything feels better. Like, you know how it is when you you're wearing something you don't want to be wearing and you're like seeing something like, oh man, why did I wear this? Or like, and you're always thinking about that instead of thinking about the person in front of you.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't me. It wasn't my authentic self wearing those. It felt stuffy, and it changed my persona, my personality a little bit. And when I switched to just kind of being who I wanted to be, everything in life kind of got a little bit easier for me. And it was just a pair of shoes. But it's like we do with the card. It wasn't just a card. That pair of shoes meant more to me than just something on my feet.
Absolutely, and I understand that. And it's funny, when I was in the mortgage world in Langley, I was dressed to the nines, like suit, like I'm talking expensive stuff, man. And like I love watches, and I had my best watch on, and I'm looking like a nine. And in Langley, it's a hyper competitive market, and you got to look really good. And I get it, and everyone's super uber professional there. And I hated it.
Yeah,
I felt like I was going to a funeral every day. So, anyways, I brought that same attire when I started at Remax. I brought like, okay, maybe I should start dressing like that now in the real estate world. And I remember getting in there, and there was an agent in Remax that said, "Are you going to a funeral, bro? Like, what are you doing, man? Like, yeah, you look good, but like," and I was like, at that moment, I was like, yeah, you're right, kind of right. Like, I don't want to drive. Like, I want to be myself, whether I succeed or fail.
Yeah.
I want to be unapologetically who I want to be when I want to be. And when I was in the mortgage world, I was like a robot.
Yeah.
Everything was compartmentalized. I'm doing this many calls a day, this many emails, this many this. And I felt like, and I was so OCD. I'm like, oh, I didn't do that. I have to do that next time. And tomorrow morning I wake up 2 hours early. I'm going to get that done before the next day. And it was everything had to fit in the box. Yeah. And ironically, and in a weird way, when I became a realtor, I watched that all out the window. I have no lead generation. I have no call frequency planner. I have no like database, so to speak, like that. I have them already in my head. I have my email for things, the connections I have in Vancouver, but I don't have I don't have a robot way of doing things anymore. I'm free. Mm-hmm. I said, if I make it in this, however good I do in this business, it's going to be on my sword and the way I want to do it. Yeah. So I'm going to be free. And when I wake up, and if I see something on my calendar, then I do it. If it's not there, then I guess I'm not doing anything. Yeah. I'm not going to fill it until I feel like I'm super uber like, filled up and I feel like I'm doing something. I'm like, no, that's my time to maybe go down and go for a walk with my family, or maybe. So for the last X amount of years, I've been very free feeling. Like, I don't go to an office. I work from home, right? I maybe gone to the office this year a dozen times, right? That's just to pop in and say hi. But I don't work there. I don't do anything there. I hang my license there, and that's it. And it's a very free feeling to just be, you wake up and do whatever you want life. Yeah. Right? And that's what I love about being an entrepreneur in general, right? Yeah. You're the author of your own story.
Yeah, no risk, no story. You gotta get out
Could
there.
I produce more? Could I sell more real estate if I did things a different way? Yes, of course I can, right? If I had a different kind of, program and software and stuff like that and follow-up system, yes, I could, right? I just have every one of my clients in my head, and I know what I have to do for them, and I just get it done.
Well, are you happy?
Yes. That's all that matters.
What? You don't need to change anything at that point.
100%.
Then, right?
Yeah. And that's why when people come to me and there are other agents and they're like, can I get advice? I'm like, I don't know if I'm really the guy to give that to you. Like, I'm different. I'm weird. I do things unorthodox. Like, I'm a big side outside of the box thinker because of my entrepreneurial life, right? Like, I wouldn't suggest learning from me right away. I go to a team and get a structure there because, like, I don't work well with that. Like, I feel like a robot and I don't want to be that. Yeah. Right? And I'm not trying to make more money. I just want to be happy. Yeah. Right?
I'm the same way. I don't work well within a clear set of rules. I'm the guy out here.
100%.
The outside the box. Like, how did you think of that? And I was like, I don't know. It's just kind of how I operate. Like, I couldn't give you an answer.
I say that the same example of when COVID hit and everyone was pulling their advertising off of the bus benches. How do you think I have them all? That's the reason I have all of them, because when I was watching single-handedly all these bus benches going away, they're gone. Like, they're blank, and they're just like, advertise here, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, well, my whole life when everyone goes downstream, I go upstream. Yeah. So I make a phone call and I'm like, hey, I see all these bus benches and bus enclosures available. She's like, oh, everyone's pulling. COVID's like scaring people and they want to prepare. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take them all. Yeah. She's like, all? I said, yeah, give them all to me. Yeah. I want the whole strip. Yeah. So as they come up, but I got a big chunk of them right away. And then as other ones were released, I had put myself, I was on the list to be able to get it because I'm like guerrilla marketing, right? When things change, I'll have them all, and I'm not giving them up. I'll have them there forever. I don't care.
That's like the story of Madison Park Avenue, the was #1 restaurant in the world. They were
Madison Park, yeah.
They were number 50, and they went to these restaurant awards, and they eating at the #1 restaurant, and everyone else that part of his his management group is saying, oh, they do this napkin as a swan, and I like the way they did this and this, but then the owner, and he says, no, if we just do what they're doing, we're just going to be like them. We're not going to stand out. So what are they doing poorly? And what they did poorly was they had shit coffee, and they treated the beer drinkers like shit. So he took a guy in the front who was a coffee connoisseur. He's like, okay, you're a coffee guy now. And they took a guy from the kitchen. I don't know if he was a chef or he was a dishwasher, but he loved craft beers. And then they became the best at the coffee and the beer side of things. And they had the best fucking coffee. And you're a beer drinker. He comes out, okay, you're having the fish. I suggest this IPA. It's got a little bit of citrus in it. Or you're having the steak. I suggest this. And then so they took everything that people did poorly, even though they were the #1 restaurant. So when everyone else was zagging, they were zigging. So that's like with the benches. Everyone else is doing one thing. You're like, this is an opportunity where other people are doing poorly that you're going to pounce upon.
Yeah, and that's my mentality with it, right? And I try to use that analogy, that type of analogy for everything you do. Always second guess yourself. Like, oh, everyone's doing this and they're going to Alberta to work because they're scared of this. And it's just like, well, then while everyone's leaving, if things switch and you stay where you were, all of a sudden things always have a way of coming back and things happen. Like, well, now you're at the top of the mountain. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, what I like to say is everyone says, when opportunity knocks, I'm like, yeah, but that quote's not finished. When opportunity knocks, you still got to open the fucking door.
Of course.
You got to let it in.
Yeah.
Take it when it gets there.
Absolutely.
Oh, Joe, this was an absolute fucking pleasure.
Hey.
I feel like I know you very well now. We think of a lot the same.
We didn't really argue with anything, did we?
No, I was saying I wanted to kind of push on something, but everything you said, I was like, and some parallels to my own life, and I was like, I love what you're doing, and I love your mindset with everything over everything else.
Thanks, bro.
You got to work hard, and you got to put the time in, and you got to take that opportunity when it comes, and don't give up on yourself.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is invest in yourself, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Cool. How do people get a hold of you? What do you got? Socials? You got
Not Your Average Joe Realtor on Instagram. Joe Doyle Realtor. I'm doing a lot of that stuff when I'm with Ty, and I always used to say I don't ever want to put my face out there. I was always like, work hard in silence, make success, make the noise. I always paraded myself on being like that. I don't ever want to be in listings. It's not about me. It's about the house, and I didn't want to be. It's not the ego thing. I didn't want to be like, oh, here I am. But no, I just want to grind, work hard for you. But Tyler's been able to get me out of my shell a little bit, and Adrian as well, to get out there more because he was first starting with videos with me, and I'm feeling more comfortable. I'm thankful for that. And it's good because then people know who you are. And, because people think they know who you are until they actually know who you are. I've had a lot of people reach out to me like, oh, man, you're more quirky and weird than I thought you were going to be. I actually thought you were a douchebag, asshole, pretentious. And I was like, oh, all right. And he's like, yeah, you're actually lighthearted. And it's just nice to hear that stuff, I guess, is working on social media. They get to know who you actually are. And they can, you read enough videos, you can't fake it for that long, right? The authenticity comes out, right? So I guess it's a personal brand. I'm new to it. So
I think you're doing great, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Thank you. And I was so happy to see you with all this stuff too, because I follow it too, right?
Thank you.
I'm like, from the gym times and now the running. And then I thought one time you wanted to fight, didn't you? You wanted to get...
Yeah, I was doing the amateur boxing for a bit. And then as I was getting older and just... flexibility, mobility issues, but like I said, my lower back's out right now, but my lower back was just killing me. So I had to give it up. Couldn't do the rotation anymore.
That you need, if you don't have that snap, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because that can get you out of a bad situation or protect. Because it's about protecting yourself. And if you don't have all the things to protect yourself properly, you're going to regret yourself for doing it.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to resent yourself for doing it.
Yeah. It was tough to give up because I loved the sport itself, but I found yoga from there. And through yoga, I found like centering myself and some flexibility, and everything happens for a reason. You just kind of got to...
Again, we're all on this path of life, man. We're figuring it out. There's never an end game for it. Like, I'm doing this and that's it. No, it's like we have to be sponges and be open to everything, right? Like even coming on these things before a couple of years ago, hell no, would never have done it. No way, man. talking in microphones and talking in cameras. No, man. I was like, I don't want to. You know, when you hear yourself on the phone, you're like, oh, I don't like my voice, man. It's, ugh, right? But this is good. It's about growth, and that's what this is all about. We're growing, we're evolving, and you don't know who this is going to inspire, and that's what that's about. It's not about us anymore. It's about the people coming up.
Everyone else, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a great spot for us to hit end on the mic. For everyone that's out there listening, this is Joe Doyle. I will pop his information into the show notes. Thank you to everyone that listened, that watched. As usual, all that shit. Hit the subscribe, the like, the share, whatever it is. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. And I know we're going to see some big things from Joe, especially with his book coming out. And Joe, thank you very much. This was an absolute pleasure.
Cheers, brother. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Hey.